Ontario. Shortstop, number 5, Carter Shin. From Woodstock, Ontario, your right fielder, number 25, Alex Keane. From Bismarck, North Dakota, the DH, number 15, Marcus Butts. Batting fourth, your extra hitter, number 20, Brock Granger for Copacock, Ontario. From Tillsonburg, Ontario, the catcher, number 11, Connor Gatens. From Kitchener, Ontario, first baseman, number 10, Andrew Bishop. Locally from Welland, Ontario, your third baseman, number 29, Carter Kemp. From Whitby, Ontario, left fielder, number 30, Grayson Briggs. From the far north in Sudbury, Ontario, second baseman, number 7, Devon Bedore. Another local person from Welland, center fielder, number 27, Chase Hubble. From Dewars, Ontario, number 3, Ethan Wolf, the pitcher.
Hey, we acknowledge that the land on which we gather today is the traditional territory of the Anishinaabe, the Haudenosaunee, and the Attawandareg and Mississauga peoples. This territory is covered by the Upper Canada Treaties and is within the land protected by the Dish with One Spoon Wampum Agreement. We recognize the enduring presence of Indigenous peoples on this land and their contributions to our community. And now, fans, at this time we ask that you please rise if you're able, remove your caps, and sing along if you'd like, as we honor both Canada and the United States. First, the national anthem of the United States will be played, followed by the singing of O Canada.
Welcome back to Perfect Game Collegiate League Baseball. I'm Darren Clark here with Jesse Seguin on Canada Day, July the 1st, as the Ironbacks host the Jamestown Tarp Skunks at George Taylor Field, deep in the heart of the place where dreams come true, Merritt, Ontario. The Ironbacks find themselves at the midway point of the inaugural season in the Perfect Game Collegiate League, playing good teams tough, but struggling to find the win column as they sit at 3-18. Playing in the West Division, though, ain't easy, as it feels like every night they're matched up against one of the teams crowded at the top of the division, where 2.5 games is all that separates first place from sixth place, as established teams continue to jockey for first. Tonight it's the Jamestown Tarp Skunks, who sit at 13-10, 2 games out of first. Jamestown leads the league in extra base hits and slugging percentage. They also lead the league in ERA, coming in yesterday, 4.38. So this is a really, really good team. Jesse and Niagara still seems to be scuffling to find their best selves.
Well, that's right, Darren. And first and foremost, happy Canada Day, everybody. The Ironbacks are having a real hard time kind of getting things going here. I think over the weekend, they played some really good games. I think they were in a lot of those games. We just couldn't manufacture some runs. So guys getting on base. Again, things we've kind of been talking about over the course of the season. Just one tough inning, I think, has kind of done them in a lot of the time.
Yeah, those the doubleheader there on Sunday was a great example of playing a really great team. Batavia's offense is scary. And for the most part, they held them close. Couldn't score any runs in the second game. And in the first game, there's that one big inning.
That's right. And they're going to be in tough today, as you mentioned. The Tarp Skunks, top to bottom, have some really potent hitters in their lineup today.
Yeah.
Leading things off with Matthew Dumas, a slick center fielder, batting .268 on the season. He's going to lead things off here for the Tarp Skunks. You got Ethan Wolf starting for the Ironbacks today. We've seen him before, Darren. What can you tell us about Ethan Wolf?
Have we seen Ethan Wolf before?
I thought we have.
I don't think so.
Well, it's the first time we're seeing Ethan Wolf today. It's a shot to second base. Routine from a door for the first out.
It's a good start for Wolf out of Duarte, Ontario. Everybody introduced with their hometowns today. Having a day to kind of appreciate where we all come from, what we all do, and how much we mean to each other.
Jacob Haynes up for the Tarp Skunks, batting .333 on the year, hit DH today. Wearing 23, usually wearing number 16, but there must be a jersey mishap for the Tarp Skunks today.
Jersey mishaps are the worst.
Must have left it hanging in the laundry room there. Forgot to bring it on the bus.
Haynes actually hit a home run in Jamestown, win over Auburn on Sunday. There's a real power here for Haynes. Ooh.
Nice cut there. Strike 2 on Haynes. Just fouls that one back.
Yeah, just fouled that back. Another thing I noticed this weekend is the 0-2 counts. Is that generally we tend to give guys a little something to hit. Maybe more than you'd want,
Yep. Yeah, I heard you talking about that with our special guest Mike Wilner there.
Mike Wilner Day. Yeah.
Trying to battle him out and give him something nothing to hit, right? So.
But I think we chatted about when Wilner was on is different schools of thought, I think the main thing to me is it can't be a totally uncompetitive pitch. It's got to be around the zone,
It's a shot to center field. Keen's not going to get there. It's going to drop in there between right fielder Keen and center fielder Chase Hubble. It's going to be a stand-up double for Jacob Haynes.
Solid knock. I thought Keen was going to get that one.
It looked like he was under it there. He just outstretched arm, just missed it by a hair. One out here for Nolan Smith, first baseman for the Tarp Skunks, batting .321.
Bremer's been, last time we saw here was a beast, frightening. 378, 5 doubles, a triple, 2 home runs.
Just outside for ball 1.
So pop on that pitch, amping up the fastball.
And Catharines taking a nice lead off of second base.
A little high.
Stairs again for ball 2. This may be just an idea of not trying to give him anything to hit here. He can really do some damage with runners on base.
$18 RBIs so far this season. That
Low.
I feel
That was
like
close
I
there.
feel like the catcher may have lost him the strike there. Gayton's a little too loose with that catch. 3-0.
Just upstairs, 4 straight pitches, 4 straight balls, and that's going to be a walk for Smith to bring up the aforementioned Justin Bremner, right fielder for the Tarp Skunks, at 378. This could be trouble here early on, with 1 out at the top of the first.
Now batting number 19, Jay Brender.
Look at me. I apparently missed somebody there and doing the lineup, Jesse.
Uh-oh, we got a scorecard mishap. Jersey mishap, scorecard mishaps.
I was talking up Justin Bremer their last at bat. So you could just everything I said their last at bat, just move it here. It applies.
To the dangerous Justin Bremer, and now he's up to bat. He was just talking about the guy on deck there coming up. It's a ground to third base, slips in the dirt a little bit, makes the 1 play at third. Safe at first base, but gets the force out at third for 2 outs here.
Now batting shortstop, number 28, Brady Marshall.
Hold on. So Brady Marshall's at the plate right now.
Nathan Borshit's up the plate. The extra hitter.
Number 19, Nathan Borsch.
Okay.
He's batting 306. Got 2 runners on here at first and second, 2 out. First pitch in, ball. Ooh, just inside
For
snap to the
that first,
first.
nice
Gets
job.
him. Great play.
Nice job by the
Great
catcher.
play by the catcher, Connor Gatens. They get a snap to the first base for the out. No outs or no runs in the top of the first inning. We're going to the bottom of the first.
Fans, be sure to visit our concession stand for all your ballpark favorites. Hot dogs, hamburgers, sausages, plus a great selection of snacks and refreshing beverages.
We're back here for the bottom of the first inning. It's scored 0-0 between the Ironbacks and the Tarp Skunks. Inning top of the first ended on a great play by Connor Gates, who made a snap through the first for the pickoff play of the aforementioned Justin Bremner. It was an excellent play there, Darren.
Yeah, it was a positive way to start the game, and they're in tough here today versus Easton Barnett out of Smyrna, Tennessee. He was fantastic in his last appearance here versus the Ironbacks. He went 7 strong, walking none, which is a rarity in the perfect game collegiate baseball league. So the Ironbacks are going to have to earn it on offense today.
Yeah, it was an interesting game actually, because watching Barnett pitch, we didn't really think he was really challenging or attacking a lot of hitters. We actually thought the Ironbacks were kind of getting to him a little bit, but somehow strong innings.
Yeah, for sure. I think I used the old, speaking of Canadian references, I was underwhelmed, if that's a word.
You did mention that, yes.
No, it's not, because I looked it up. It's one of the skills I learned in my school. Sloan reference there. Canada Day.
Canada Day. Great drop of Sloan.
But he was awesome, so who cares whether it impressed me or not.
Nice poke by leadoff hitter Carter Shin for a single left field.
That's like Carter Shin's spot. You could go paint like a circle out right where you hit that ball, and that's pretty much where it lands like 70% of the time.
Well, that's perfect. Gets their leadoff hitter on base, right?
Yeah,
big bats
lots of
coming
green.
Up here. Alex Keene, right fielder, batting 306, coming up next. You did the games on the weekend, Darren. You just started to see Keene, I think, come alive a little bit here for the Ironbacks.
Yeah, I think what you're seeing there with the top of the order is probably their most effective hitter, is most dialed in lately. Keene has really looked sharp at the plate. Hasn't been getting cheated there much. Oh, might have just got cheated there.
As we see, he doesn't get cheated much. The first pitch strike comes into Alex Keene.
A little low and away there. Yeah.
Low outside, but
one could contend that our vantage point not quite as good as the umpires behind home plate, but
fouls the second pitch off there. He's down early 0-2.
And Barnett just dialing in that spot. I mean, there's the thing. Once the umpire establishes that little generous portion of the outside part of the plate,
that's right.
Why not keep attacking it?
We just asked for some consistency, though, right? Because later on in some of these games here, that spot kind of changes direction.
Yeah, and largely, we quibble every game with a few calls here and there, but largely it's been pretty good umpiring, pretty consistent, I should say. Ooh, that was pretty close.
Call there. Shit gets back there just in time.
0-2 is the count. We were gonna, since being Canada, talk about some of our favorite Canadian things over the course of the game. You got anything to start us off with?
Well, I think my most thing that relative to Canada Day would be the start of the NHL free agency. Free agent frenzy is usually the homage to me on Canada Day.
Jesse, for the unacquainted, a rabid Toronto Maple Leafs fan, so he's had a lifetime of disappointment too.
Especially on Canada Day, yeah. My
Although
disappointment came yesterday.
Not quite Mel Romanin being a Buffalo Sabres fan level of disappointment. I mean that's almost religious. That's like, those monks that like hit themselves with things every day when they wake up. But yeah, you've learned to embrace the pain. Yeah.
There's a ball just upstairs for Alex Keene, brings the count even 2-2. How about you, Darren? What's your favorite thing about Canada today?
I think of a lot of different things. I think one of the things I appreciate about Canada is the kind of multicultural aspect of thing, and you see it in this region that we live in. 100%. I grew up in an Italian town. I went over people's houses. They would have that living room with the plastic on the couches that you could never sit in. I've never sat on one of those couches in my life. I got to look at it. The extra kitchen downstairs, making pasta and everything like that. And I felt really lucky to be invited into those spaces to appreciate an entirely different perspective.
It's funny you mentioned that. Imagine living in those houses with the couch you couldn't sit on.
It goes a runner.
Runner goes, fouled off back. You live in that house, you get the living room that you can't actually sit in. So
yeah. Well, I imagine at some point, sooner or later, somebody did sit in there. It just wasn't going to be the munja cake from up the street. You know what I mean? But I think that over the course of my life, whether it be working at a factory and the Filipino folks that I worked with, or some of my friends that were from Poland, I just felt like just incredibly lucky to appreciate the generosity and kind of warmth to to people coming from different places and
Definitely.
sharing who
That's
they were, you know?
something unique about Canada. And I think that's what we all appreciate about being Canadian is, right? It's opening our arms out to a lot of different cultures and nationalities, right? So
Yeah. I think about, I mean, Europe, for those who don't know, Jesse's a chef by trade. And I think about it with food, right?
yep.
Like that's the perfect example of like how much better is life with, you know, all the different types of food we have available to us. Indian food, you know, suddenly I'm forgetting every nation on the earth, but you know what I mean? Just Indian food.
Ball 4, that's going to put runners at first and second here. Nobody
That's a
out.
battle.
You know, we talked about that at the top of the show, just not really being able to battle and get those pitches to kind of make the damage count when it matters. And I think here now you're getting Marcus Butts coming up to the plate with 2
Yeah.
runners on, nobody out.
Butts
see if
look
he can-
really good recently. Look good this weekend. Thai food was the other one I was trying to think of. That's why I froze up. I love myself some green curry.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And Greek food. I'm a big Greek food
Greek,
fan as
yeah.
well, so.
Yeah, I mean,
We
fouled
go all
off.
day on food
Italian.
there.
We started off with Italian. It brings us right back there. And again, we still haven't dealt with Eli Thompson's disdain for spaghetti.
You're right. We got to
He's
get
here in the
into that.
Niagara region. I really think, Mal, that's one thing you can do is arrange something like a great plate of true spaghetti, Italian spaghetti, and Eli Thompson getting together. That's what he put on his bio. Yeah, like, what's your favorite food, Eli? I don't want to talk about my favorite food. Let me tell you how much I hate spaghetti.
Another pitch outside here. Barnes having a hard time hitting the strike zone consistently. It's going to bring the.
Yeah. We're not
don't
taking
even want
any food input from our PA guy who brought cold lasagna here last game.
I did admit to you though, Darren, I do also appreciate some good cold food every once in a while.
Goodness
Spaghetti
gracious.
being one thing you can always eat cold, I feel.
No, Jesse, what is the matter
Pizza
with
a
you?
second, I think, yeah. Maybe it's just a generational thing, Darren, but
That's not a generational thing. John's my generation. It was a fail in his generation. You doing it is a fail for your generation. Every generation shuns people who eat cold pasta. Mel is nodding beside me.
well, maybe someone watching the video can make a comment on if they eat cold spaghetti or not. I'd love to hear from you guys.
I don't know if I even trust anybody who's watching this video right. You know what I mean? We got Mel. Mel's the final word. Doesn't matter what the rest of the internet says. Two and two count.
count on Butts. As we digress from the game a little bit here.
Yeah. My fault. My fault.
We had a great debate about spaghetti. How could we not keep it going? A pitch foul back there. Still 2-2.
It's a battle.
It is a battle. We talked about it. Get the battles at the bat. Making Burnett work a little bit here.
Yeah, and sometimes if you can jump on a guy earlier where they don't really get dialed in. I feel like this happened last game. He scuffled early. That's a
another big
rip,
drive
but
to
that
left
is
field.
going to be
Over
over
the
his
head,
head.
the left fielder.
That.
We got to send him. They got two guys. Both guys coming home here. Stand up double for Butts. 2 runners score. It's 2-0 Ironbacks early in the bottom of the first inning.
Oh, Nico Frizzell, really, you could see him kind of pause for a moment,
Yep.
thinking he had it, and then that moment of realization, oh no, I don't.
That's right.
That ball is over my head.
That's right. That might just be a little bit of shakiness for him in the outfield there. Not a lot of games played this year, so
Yeah.
Having a hard time maybe reading that ball coming off the bat. Again, we talked about Marcus Butts really starting to heat up now.
Yeah. Making really solid contact, and you can see him like fighting to extend that at bat.
That's right. That's
You
right.
get a pitch you can do something with.
First pitch swinging there, and the batter Brock Granger, the extra hitter today, popped up to third base. And
Oh.
Wow. Wow, that was a close one there.
Yeah.
Nice catch by Blake Herman, the third baseman, but it almost lost
Yeah,
it.
yeah, I think.
I would say he lost it in the sun, but I'm not seeing
No,
much. So
no.
I think he maybe just misread that a little bit.
I think Blake Herman looks like a man who wishes he'd caught that a little more elegantly.
Yeah, definitely.
And is capable of it.
It's good to be
Stompin' Tom Connors is on. I've been petitioning for Stompin' Tom for some time, so that's a big moment. Connor Gayton, is this Connor? Was that Tilsonburg? Because I was actually like requesting that. Like, it's rare that I suggest something and then it actually happens. Probably there's a lot of good reasons
Connor
for
Gaines
that.
up to the bat right now, and he is from Tilsonburg, so maybe there is a connection to Darren.
Oh, that is awesome.
Finally,
I'm so happy
Darren
about that.
is happy. His voice has been
So
heard.
yeah. Oz,
Just down
what's
low
his
there.
usual walk-up song? I feel like we have
I
that
always thought he
someplace.
was the.
Let's track that down.
I thought he had.
Was he Kids? No, that's
no,
Hubble.
it's Marcus,
Hubble.
It's Marcus Butts.
Oh, is it?
Another foul back there.
Barnett really working
I
up
thought he
high
had
in the
Johnny
zone.
Gash walk-up song. Wasn't that Connor?
That's
Johnny
Hubble.
Gash? Was it Hubble?
That's Hubble. Yeah, forgive me on misquoting players' walk-up songs. Let's find it out. Let's find that out because I'm pretty sure I got that
That's
here.
right. As Darren's looking for that there. Counts 2-1. The gate. It's a strut to third base. Bit of a cleaner receive there over at third base by Blake Herman for the out.
Nice play by the catcher, first baseman, excuse me, taking that one
Down
out.
the dirt a little bit there.
Andrew Bishop.
Oh, Granger usually comes up to the Temptations, My Girl,
Oh,
because after Francisco Lindor.
Gotcha.
And here, sorry.
No, it's okay. I was just going to say Andrew Bishop's up now playing first base. He's batting .222 on the year. Another guy that sort of just not quite dialed in yet for the Ironbacks, but you can see it.
Yeah, the upside is tantalizing with Bishop, and I think we've seen some flashes of what he has to offer, his
Definitely.
best self. Just seems to get tied up inside a lot when things aren't going right.
There's a nice strike to the center field. But
No, he
the center
dropped it.
fielder. Matthew Dumas drops the ball. It's going to score another run there. Marcus Butts comes home. 3-0 Ironbacks.
And Mel, perhaps overwhelmed by the good vibes of Canada today, is calling that a single.
That's a single. The usually slick center fielder Matthew Dumas drops that routine fly ball in the outfield. And the scorekeepers called that a single.
Yeah, and they're going to have a chat with Barnett, who's finding this game a much tougher go.
That's right. 3-0 Ironbacks here. Only one out. You got Carter Kipp coming up, third baseman. He's having a tough go. Newer to the team here, only batting .63 on the year.
He's had it rough, and sometimes it gets in your head a little bit.
That's
you come in, you can't find your best self. You really want to show your new teammates your best self.
You start gripping the bat a little harder.
Yeah,
too,
and I
right?
find
So-
he gets really quickly. He's been just overly aggressive, gets behind in the count early, and then you're like, man, how am I at 0-2 again? Before you know it, in a heartbeat, you're
That's
down
right. And now
0-2.
you just got to try to swing and stay alive to keep the bat going, and usually get you into trouble. So
Yeah, and also, their offense has struggled overall lately.
well, that's
so
a huge thing as well, right?
So hopefully 3 runs. You're looking for a little gravy here. Hopefully this is a situation he doesn't feel that much pressure and can be himself.
First pitch strike in there to Kipp. Ooh, it's a big cut there for strike 2.
Just
As you just mentioned there, Darren is quickly down 0-2 in the count.
0-2. Just challenged him too, right? Fastball right by him.
That's right.
Upstairs.
Yep.
That
Just down
is
low for
strike
strike
3.
3. That's going to be the first strikeout for Barnett in the year. But that damage has been done. 3-0 Ironbacks here as you go to the top of the second inning.
For your Ironbacks.
Hey, we're back here for the top of the second inning. 3-0 Ironbacks after a big bottom of the first there. We got Nathan Borchardt back up for the Tarp Skunks, who's up again because Justin Bremner, who had a fielder's choice in the first inning, was picked off by a great play by the catcher Connor Gatens.
Yeah, Borchardt had a really active inning in the field there, making an inelegant catch on a foul ball.
Oh, you mean
Also
Blake
handled.
Herman?
Oh, yeah. Thanks.
Hey, it's okay. It's okay.
Do they both have?
It's causing us trouble today.
They look similar.
Big shot to center field. Well, this could be. Oh. It's a nice catch by Chase Hubble for the first out.
Steady Chase Hubble, doing steady stuff in center field. Look for a second there that he got surprised by how deep it went. Yeah, yeah.
Looks like he was coming right at him. Then he had to almost kind of trail back a little bit. Speaking of the wrong batter, we got Brady Marshall coming up. He's the shortstop, batting .283. First pitch swinging foul for the Ironbacks bullpen, strike one. Brady Marshall was excellent in the game. We saw him last week. He went 4 for 4.
It was the Brady bunch, the two Bradys.
It was the Brady bunch. They were
Brady,
getting me confused in the scorecard there.
Brady McGuire, Brady Marshall.
Right,
McGuire not in the lineup today.
Pretty much conquering the whole left side of the infield there.
Yeah. They were terrific.
They were terrific, yeah.
In the field at the plate. Here's a story of two guys named Brady.
Another nice pitch there by Ethan Wolf. Strike 2.
One.
Shot to short, right through the gap there. It's going to be a single for Brady Marshall.
That was a good pitch.
It was a good pitch.
Yeah, so good for him for steering that between short and third.
Blake Herman, the third baseman, making that excellent acrobatic
Catch. Yeah. Since I identified the wrong person earlier, I'm going to be way more generous to that catch than I was earlier. Really sharp play there on the grounder. That's
he did.
two outs.
A way to bounce back there, that play, too, after making that kind of a
Exactly. And
shaky
let that be
play
a lesson for all of us who've
right.
made some mistakes here today, that we can bounce back.
That's right. That's what life's all about, bouncing back.
Exactly.
And I think
Overcoming
us in the booth,
adversity.
we make a lot of mistakes.
We do.
So
I know I do.
I've built a life of making mistakes. So it's just outside for ball 2 here to Blake Herman. He's batting .250 on the year. That's going to be 3 balls, no strikes to Blake.
Really struggling to find it here in this at bat. Really like to see them have a clean inning here to take advantage of that start, keep the good vibes rolling.
We got this 4-pitch walk. It's
Aim
the
that
second
one.
4-pitch walk of the game so far by Blake.
Yeah.
It's going to put runners on first and second here. No out for Ty Lagoni.
Number 2, Ty Lagoni.
I worry when I see that last pitch he threw, where he really muscles up, aiming it a little bit. Nice little curveball.
Strike there, strike 1.
That was sharp. Kicking that out, taking that for a walk under town. Looking good.
Lagoni batting .255 for the Tarp Skunks on the year. Second base today. Sun creeping out a little bit. Get some Canada Day sunshine here, which is nice.
That is nice.
A little overcast to start the day. Humidity didn't die down though.
It did not.
You thought after that huge thunderstorm we had yesterday, maybe things would start cooling down a little bit, but
George Taylor Field really comes to life. Its true beauty shines when the sun comes out.
it does.
So,
It
yeah.
does. I actually like the 6:30 kind of night over top there. Lights are kicking on.
Yeah.
It looks really, really nice. Sun
Agreed.
kind of peeking down in the left field. Ball gets away from Gaines there. That's going to advance the runners. Second and third now.
That's
the count to Lagoni.
That's big. Those runners in a scoring position take away the possibility of a double play with the right-hand batter up. Ouch! Ouch! Ouch!
Wolf's leg. That looks painful. That's going to score a run.
Oh, mercy. That got him solidly on the knee, it looked like, on the outside of the right knee.
They're going to congregate here on the mound, but it doesn't look good for Ethan Wolf. He's shaking it off.
Man, that was a rip.
That was
Richard Griffin out to the mound to take a look as Wolf's trying to take it out, but that hit him hard.
that squared him right, I think, on the shin almost.
I felt like it was on the outside of his knee.
That'd be even worse than the planting leg, too, when you're trying to make a pitch.
Well, it's always kind of a, I think every pitcher kind of figures it out on their own, and it takes a while how to take care of yourself after you just delivered a pitch. I mean, so much of the onus is on delivering the pitch,
Right.
and particularly as you can see him scuffling out here,
Yep.
you're even more just thinking about making a good pitch, getting in the zone, and then the ball comes ripping back at you.
That's always been my fear of actually being a pitcher, would be on the mound, having a hot shot come straight directly
Yeah.
at you, not be able to react in time.
Yeah,
Luckily, it was just the leg, you know? It could have been a lot worse.
for sure. See if he can shake that off. Like, I think I'd worry less if it was on the shin, but in that knee area, as they call the knee, God's great mistake, there's a lot of moving parts in there,
Oh, yeah.
you know, and it's real easy for that to just start blowing up on you
Well, that's it.
pretty quick.
Could have a nice, welt there or something like that, but just the movement now, having to pitch, having to constantly keep bending, working
Right.
that muscle in there, right? Like it's
I mean, yeah, so much of it comes from the spring from your legs.
right.
So,
They're going to give
see
Wolf
what
a couple warm-up pitches here to see how he's doing after that single off the shin or the
Yeah.
knee area.
yeah, you can see them
You have the trainer working on the knee area. Yeah.
touching both knees, which is interesting.
Well, I don't got a medical degree, probably neither do you, but
I do not. It looked like he turned almost like towards first base. I thought he got it on the outside of the right knee, but he's limping on the left one. So
he's still shaking off that left knee.
yeah, he's really grimacing out there. I mean, there's that difference between it hurts, but it's gonna go away,
That's right.
and it hurts, and I can't work with this, and maybe something deeper is going on,
That's right. And the
other than
challenge of
just
being
pain.
a knee, maybe, and not a foot, where you can try to just shake it off, keep it tied up in your shoe there.
Yeah.
Wolf's going to stay in the game. He's going to battle this out. He's not giving up his candidate start today. Got runners at first and third, one out here. Left fielder Nico Fizel coming up for the Tarp Skunks. He's batting 107 on the year. This may be an opportunity here for the Ironbacks. Light hitting outfielder there who had a bit of trouble in the bottom of the first inning there with a shot over his head there and scored 2 runs for the Ironbacks. So
There you
pitch
go.
in there for a strike.
Some mustard on that fastball. You hear it up here.
Just outside.
Ooh.
Ball one.
Just missed the outside corner with that pitch. 1 and 2. In on the hands.
Fly ball to left field. Briggs is under it. Runner tags.
Perfect
He's gonna go to
fly ball to throw on. That was.
It's the runner there. That's going to score a second run. Harmon.
You know, we've seen Briggs throw before. That was not his best throw.
No.
You know what I mean? And he had the
Like,
perfect fly ball to throw home on. So you got to come in on it. So all your momentum's coming forward, and it felt like I don't know, just felt like he didn't take advantage of that.
Too, right?
Yeah.
It's going to be 2 out here. Catcher Eddie Delansky coming up for the Tarp Skunks. 250 on the year. Let's see if runner going at second base. Good throw by Gaines,
Ooh.
but it's not in time. That was close.
It was. Nice tag by Medora, too. I think he was in tough to throw him out, just based on the pitch, I think, for Gatons. But I thought he made a good toss, good tag by Medora, but
It was
just missed him.
close there, but look how he now stands on second base. Scoring position here for Delansky. See if he can cash him in.
Ooh.
Just outside. Ball 2 here, Delansky.
Oh,
Just upstairs.
boy.
Close one, that.
Oh, goodness gracious.
Looked like
You couldn't walk up to the plate and hand it to your catcher and make for a better strike than that one.
definitely looked like a strike to me. Way outside. Wild pitch. That's going to advance the run of the third base. Wolf's down in pain
Wolf.
again.
Feel like that might be the end of the day for Wolf, who's clearly just
4-pitch
done.
walk and
Yeah,
pitching
that's
coach coming up to talk to Wolf now, but he looks like he's in serious pain here.
ooh, and I think one of the things we talked over the weekend about was kind of Ironbacks running out of arms to a certain degree at times. You know, we've seen Caden Wilson on the mound, we've seen Alex Keene pitch,
Right.
you know, and
You're going to take Wolf out of the game here.
you know, we haven't seen Ethan Wolf before, but we've absolutely seen Jaden Corpin pitch a ton.
And that's who's coming in now.
Yeah, I think one of the more remarkable pitching performances this year was his appearance on Friday, his start, where it came out, the first inning just got run over. And I can't remember the score at the end of the first, but I think it might have been like 5-0 or 7-0. And then he just completely locked it down from that point.
Wow.
Yeah. I'll pull up that box score because obviously my memory's not serving me as well as you'd hope one's memory would serve you. But and he's so much fun, right? The hesitation pitches. He's got a million different things going on. There's so much Marcus Stroman in his game.
I was referencing that, I think, the last time we saw him in a game a few weeks ago there with his hesitation pitches, and that gave me a little
Pitcher for your
Marcus
Niagara
Stroman vibe.
Ironbacks, number 18, Jaden Corpin.
Yeah, he's a ton of fun. See, I'm just dialing up that game. That was against Newark, who have, you know, just another team with a great, relentless lineup to deal with.
Yep.
And yeah, after one, it was 6-2 Pilots,
Wow.
and then the game ended up 7-3. Corpin ended up going 7, gave up just those 6 earned runs in the first,
Wow.
and really battled.
It's
Really
impressive to
battled.
battle back and keep going there. Right?
Yeah, it is, right? Like as somebody who's pitched, I gotta tell you, if I had an inning like that, I'd be like throwing when I was younger.
Yeah.
I would have. There have been a lot of emotion there for me to unpack to get back into it.
I think that's what any baseball player would struggle with, right? Having a big inning like that.
Yeah.
You know? We kind of talk about that with the batters to a degree too. They're trying to make something happen, not hitting their spots, missing some pitches. They start gripping the bat a little bit and kind of gets in your head. But here we are, ready to go again. Corporate set.
Be
Got back to the top of the line for center fielder Matthew Dumas.
tough coming out like this, dead cold. Like even with the limited warm, like I'm sure he had a bit of an extended warm up there. It's still tough.
Still, and especially in a difficult spot here with runners at the corners.
Yeah.
2 out.
Yeah, he came right out of the dugout.
Just upstairs for ball 2.
They are getting pinched on some strikes this inning.
Dumas grounded out his first at bat in the first. There's a strike there.
Seems like the high strike is a no, the low strike is a yes thus far.
So all those fails,
this
just
game.
go to that outside corner. Ooh,
Yes, foul.
that was close, but foul. It's going to even up the count 2-2.
Surprised Legani has not tried to take off. There he
There
goes.
he goes now. Urja grounded right up the gut. Shin throws to the first base for the out. But the Tarp Skunks are on the board. And it's 3-2 Ironbacks to go to the bottom of the second
Fans,
inning.
don't miss your chance to visit the beer stand and enjoy a nice bowl of Ironback life. Goodies.
We're back for the bottom of the second inning. The Tarp Skunks got on the board there. The score's 3-2 Ironbacks. We got Grayson Briggs up the plate. Left fielder hitting 205 for the Ironbacks on the year. For just joining us, starter Ethan Wolf took a liner off the leg last inning there. Stayed in the game, but had some trouble there delivering his pitches. Was eventually taken out. Jaden Corbett came in relief and got the Ironbacks out of the inning here unscathed.
Grayson Briggs ahead of the count. Briggs really having trouble with anything on the outside part of the plate, middle out. Thus far this season. Actually, in the last game they won over the weekend, he had 2 doubles in that game.
Well, that's maybe the turning point there for Briggs. You want to see him start turning on some pitches. Ooh.
Yeah.
Briggs thought that one was outside, but
Side and low. But that, again, has been a strike all game.
it has.
So it's not one. It was a good take. You know, it's not the pitch you want to try to do something with. Oh, just missed that one.
So that one. Going to bring the count full here on Briggs.
That one was in his wheelhouse and he missed it. Barnett trying to recover after a rough first inning.
Ball gets away. That's going to be a walk for Briggs and get it back on base. It's another inning here, starting off with a runner on.
Barnett walked none the last time he was here. He's now walked 2. He's at Lincoln Memorial University.
Now batting the second baseman, number 7, Devin Medor.
Devin Medor coming up here with Briggs on first base, second baseman at 189. He's been struggling, I think, here to start the season for the Ironbacks.
Yeah, he's batting leadoff to start the season. Looked real sharp.
Oh, shows bunt there. It's a good play. Advances Briggs to second base.
Nicely played by the third baseman, Blake Herman.
That's right. Got him right.
That's it. We're all getting better as this game progresses.
Center fielder number 27, Chase Hubble.
Chase Hubble coming up, center fielder for the Ironbacks, hitting .233. Briggs on second base, 1 out.
There's that low outside pitch that's strike all day. Hubble always looks so solid out in center field. Little trouble finding it at the plate. A recent? No.
Just upside there for ball 1.
You know, since we're talking about being free agency today, kind of what the Ironbacks are looking for in hockey terms, some secondary scoring.
Definitely. You got your big bats there at the top of the lineup, but once those guys get on, you just need some of these guys lower in the lineup to drive home some runs, right?
Yeah. It'd be big for them right now for, Briggs, Hubble, create a run.
Right.
That's.
And so start building their own lead, right? Give them a little bit of a time to kind of have their pitchers work in a little bit, feel a little comfortable that, say you have give up a couple runs in it, and you don't got to worry about it snowballing.
Yeah.
And getting away from you a little bit, right? So.
Exactly. I think what they've done as a team is really good is they battle.
Yep.
It'd be really easy to look at the record to think that they're not been doing that, but they do.
No, and they're sticking together, They're still working as a team, supporting each other. That's going to go a long way, I think, for them.
I think that Corbin start we were talking about, it was a great kind of symbol of how competitive they are.
Right. Hubble follows that one back. Full count here. Got Briggs dancing up there in second base. Ooh, Hubble chases a pitch down for strike 3.
Well, I think you almost have to chase that pitch because it's going to be a strike.
Right.
Right?
It's going to be 2 out here for the top of the order. Carter Shin. He got things rolling for the Ironbacks in the bottom of the first with the leadoff single. Came around the score on the double by Marcus Butts. Scored 2 runs.
Shin's almost been like just a line drive machine. See what he does here. Barnett, balk is called, so that'll move Briggs up.
We see a lot of balks.
Yeah, we do. It's younger players, right? So I guess it makes sense. Gets Briggs, third base. Barnett was really working up in the zone there in the first inning, and you can see him getting those pitches down and challenging guys in the bottom area of the plate, taking advantage of that generous strike zone down there.
Was a little too low there for Shin for ball 1.
Location, location, location. Oh.
It's a nice curveball there for strike 1 on Shin.
I have to think Shin was looking fastball there because I don't even think that was a particularly good curveball, but he just seemed timing was off.
It definitely almost looked like the swing was complete before the ball even got to the catcher's mitt.
There's another curveball.
Just outside, ball 2. Briggs 90 feet away from scoring. Ironbacks really do some work here to pad on to this lead.
A little pushback would be nice.
And it would be. Down low again. 3-1 the count to Carter Shin. Got Alex Keaton on deck. Walked his first time up.
Oh, that's a rip.
Shot to left field. That's going to drop. That's going to score. Briggs. Shin's going to second to throw in from the left fielder. Not in time. Stand up double for Carter Shin. That's just what we're talking about here, Darren. Guys in the bottom of the lineup getting on base for your big bats to kind of drive them home.
Yeah.
Great at bat by Carter Shin.
This is a great poke. After we talked about that sweet spot he has there in between the shortstop and left fielder is like, let me show you a little something else.
Yeah.
I got a little bit more than that.
was a great at bat there for Shin. It's going to bring up the aforementioned Alice Keene. Let's see if he can keep his inning alive here.
And that's the thing with these guys. It's, you know, Shin, Keene, Butts is competitive at bats each and every time.
Yep. It's a nice curveball in for strike one.
Barnett really going to that curveball a little more here. Seems to be finding the feel for it. Ooh, just missed. That was a good pitch that Keene was right on top of. Fouling straight back. Pretty quickly, he's behind 0-2. Big, huge gap between third and short there, which isn't really Keene's forte, but my goodness. Little quick pitch action there by Barnett. Changing up the delivery speed, trying to catch him napping. Good idea. Just wrong location.
Just outside for ball 3, or ball 2, sorry.
Organist trying to drum up some excitement here. Good old Meritten organist. Never misses a note, the Meritten organist, ever. Oh, he missed that one. A little bit in on the hands.
Fizel makes the catch for 3 out, but the Ironbacks get another one on the board, and it's 4-2 as we head to the top of the third. We're back here for the top of the third inning. It's 4-2 Ironbacks as they got another run here last inning. Jacob Haynes coming up, DH for the Tarp Skunks. Doubled his last at-bat. A loud double, I might add.
Absolutely.
Right the gap there between Keene and Hubble there in center field. First pitch swinging, foul back to the stands. Siren tells us, you mentioned Sloan earlier, that siren reminds me of that Sloan song.
Money City Maniacs.
Money City Maniacs.
Yeah. Good Sloan song. Haynes out of Claridge, Pennsylvania. Seton Hill he plays for. Another rip, man.
That's going to be a single there.
It's just a monster. 12 home runs for Seton Hill this year in 54 games. No free lunch today when he comes to the plate, that's for sure.
Definitely not. First baseman Nolan Smith out now. He walked his first at-bat. And this is the heart of the order here for the Tarp Skunks.
Yep.
Let's see if Jaden Corbin can keep him at bay. Goes down low for ball 1 to Smith.
Not a strike now.
There, strike 1. Smith tried to check his swing. It didn't matter anyway. That was in there for a strike.
Yeah, this is like opposite world at bat so far for the strike calls. The low strike went away. The high strike is here.
Foul ball back there. 1-2 the count on Smith. Really begging for a breeze here in this press.
Oh, man.
Really cool things down a little bit.
It's a steamy Canada today, no doubt.
Ooh, just inside, ball 2. Still haven't been able to work in that misting machine, I think we're asking for.
Yeah,
Really do
right.
wonders here.
We petitioned for air conditioning.
I actually went
on the
to
weekend.
a brewery the other day, and they had a misting machine on their back patio.
Ooh, that was a
Strike
K,
hot
baby.
looking.
It was the good ship lollipop curveball from Jaden Corbin.
It caught Smith a little unguarded there. He was caught looking.
Yeah. You get a long look at that at the plate, and it's got to kill you watching it
Oh,
come
yeah.
in there. And
A dangerous Justin Bremner up to bat. He had a fielder's choice in the first, but was picked off by a great snap throw by Connor Gates, the first base. He's got his pink bat up here. Usually does some damage with the pink bat. We'll see if he changes things up again during the game. Goes to the pink and blue bat, interchanging things up.
was this from last game? Did we have this conversation about the blue bat versus pink
that's what I
bat
was
with
saying. He's got the
Bremer?
pink bat today. He does most damage
I
with the
wonder
pink
what
bat.
goes into this. Like, what's the methodology
Maybe
to
it's
it?
like
Is there
runners on, he uses the pink bat.
could be a,
Base is empty, goes to the blue bat.
Ooh.
That was a cheeky swing there by Bremer. He's found himself down in the count.
maybe a divining rod, abacus, protractor? I'm not sure. There could be any number of different things that go into the decision
throws up
making.
some grass in the wind.
Yeah.
He is, okay, we're going blue today.
Oh,
Hard shot to second base.
Nice.
Fielded
that should be.
turn 2.
I honestly thought he
turns 2.
caught
I thought
that
he
in the
caught-
air.
I thought Shin caught that. He's going to call it a double play anyways.
He did
He's
catch
out.
that in
Shin
the air.
caught the line
I
drive
don't
and
know
then doubled
why
up.
Shin threw to second. I think that threw off the umpire.
I think he was just making the play because he's making the play there. But that's
Richard
gonna be-
Griffin's out, making an elaborate gesture, but he dropped something in doing it, which kind of really took the wind out of the gesture.
That's right.
Umpires are having a chat.
They're
and
making sure they doubled them up there, but it looked to us here that Shin caught the line drive and
yeah,
got the double play there. They're going to call
Yeah.
it. The Ironbacks
That's
get
it.
out of the inning.
what are they calling
Not
it?
calling the double play. Bremer's still on first base.
I gotta say, this is a bit of a.
Interesting play there. It looked a lot like a double play. Manager Griffin's out there to question what exactly the umpires saw.
You know, the umpires got their Canada Day red on today, and I feel like maybe that's causing them some issues, like as opposed to the usual umpire black or blue.
Potentially. Griffin's very animated down there.
Griffin
talking to
is
the
all
umpire.
over him.
We saw Richard Griffin get kicked out of the game last Thursday.
Yeah.
This could be
He's animated. He promised us a good game. He
did
passed
promise
through the
us that.
press box. He was
that
talking
calming
up.
down. He's going back out to talk to the second.
He requested some Canadian
Umpire
music,
there.
except for no Stampeders, he said,
Okay.
which is a fair request. That's such, like, they're having another conversation.
Yeah,
I
for
don't know how they missed him catching it. I really genuinely think they were thrown off by Shin throwing to second base.
Yeah.
So they just, okay, maybe he didn't catch it. Why did it? Because I don't know why Shin threw to first, second base either.
I think just instinct. You're going to make a turn 2,
Or
right?
maybe
Got the
because
ball, just
he
making
was
sure.
down on the ground. Maybe
Yeah.
here, I'll give you the ball. You throw it
You
to first
throw it
base.
a lot easier, maybe, right? Yeah.
Maybe just
now
be-
they made the
there
out.
it is.
There. A little bit of a delay, but they got the turn the double play. The Ironbacks get out of the inning, still leading the Tarp Skunks 4-2 as we head to the bottom of the third inning.
Are we gonna grab the kid for this now? Or no? Yeah, let me check. Okay, so now it's
Aniello. I-N.
Hey, we're back here for the bottom of the third inning. We got a new pitcher on for the Tarp Skunks, Nick Iannello, also wearing number 24. I think we got a jersey crisis going on. Two number 24s for the Tarp Skunks today. Got us a little confused up here in the booth. I think down on the field.
What's the number they wear on Jackie Robinson Day? 42?
42? Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. I was just thinking like maybe
they're
there's
just
some
wearing
a
Nick Iannello Day? They're
Let's
just going
think
to
of
wear
like
all 24?
who are the great ball players to wear number 24? We'll figure that out.
Looks like Ken Griffey Jr. wore number 24, didn't he?
Was it?
Did he?
You got Marcus Butts up to bat.
Thank you.
Butts with a 2 RBI double back in the first. They got the Ironbacks on the board. Really showing off some of that power we've been talking about.
Certainly took Nico Frizzell by surprise out there.
Definitely
He
did. Definitely did.
kind of paused as if he had it and then gave that oh no look
As
it coasted.
That's going way over my head.
Yeah. I've been there. Anybody who's played the outfield's been there at least once.
That's down low there. Evens the count 2-2.
That
Lazy
is
shot the second. That's going to drop for a single. Bloop single. Butts is 2 for 2 today.
You know, sometimes when you're feeling it, the world just comes to you and lays itself at your feet. Oh, it's off the end of the bat, falls in.
That's right. Gets a gun. That's the third straight inning here that the Ironbacks have started with a runner on. Bringing up the dangerous Brock Granger, the extra hitter today.
Barnett, who had a really rough day, out of the game after 2 innings. Bit of a surprise, but he was fooling absolutely nobody.
Runner's
Oh,
caught
goodness.
A run down there. Marcus Butts was caught sleeping on first base, and he's picked off for the first out of the inning.
That's the latest installment of the Niagara Ironbacks
Run game.
base running follies.
Yes.
We're trying to determine exactly who is pitching for the Tarp Skunks. As the numbers, players, it's been a bit of an adventure so far today. It's actually Bola. I was shown his name for a second, and then as if I'm failing a memory test, it was Bola.
Bola is the pitcher on the mound and not Nick Iannello.
Thank you. Colin Bola. It's a shame because I had so much information about Nick Iannello. We hardly knew him. Colin Bola. Yeah, as I was starting to say, I mean, if we're looking at areas of opportunity for the Ironbacks, base running would be high at the top of that list.
Yes.
A little sometimes overly aggressive. Yeah, because discretion being the better part of valor and not being picked off first base and caught stealing.
Just gets under that one for a foul.
That was some 9-iron action as he got down there,
down
and
on one knee there.
Yeah, dug that out of the dirt. Bola plays for the Penn State Barron Lions.
Just side ball 2.
Almost is like I see him coming at different arm angles. He's always like really drops down at times. Made 11 appearances for Penn State Barron. 49 innings pitched.
Just outside again.
10.95 strikeouts per 9. 3.10 ERA. It's a tough thing with the university teams and colleges trying to figure out which level that is. The numbers being so relative, you know.
Right, because there's so many different divisions too.
Yeah.
Right?
We're just two innocent Canadians trying to navigate this really complicated world of NCAA varying levels of competition.
Right.
Just two simple guys.
That's right. It's a ground out there. Second to first base by Brock Granger. It's going to bring up the dangerous Connor Gates here.
Walking up to Stompin' Tom Connors, one of Canada's finest. We're talking about Canadian things that we love. Stompin' Tom is at the very top of that list. Well,
first pitch that hits him.
Colin Bola maybe just took that Stompin' Tom stuff to be.
Maybe he's not a big fan of Tilson.
Yeah, it could be. Cowboy hats and stomping cowboys. Stompin' Tom used to play on Bunting Road, the UAW, the Union Hall there, religiously.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. And fill the place each and every time.
Well, of course. Well,
Canadian
legend,
classic.
right?
Yeah. Ketchup loves potatoes. All those classic songs.
Do you eat your potatoes with ketchup?
Yeah.
You do?
But
All
well,
of
not
them?
potatoes, like fries.
Oh, okay.
Fries, not potatoes, no.
Well, I've seen people that actually put ketchup on their mashed potatoes.
On mashed
They
potatoes?
do it.
Seems inappropriate.
And the roasted potatoes, that's going to be a fly ball by pitch that's going to drop. That's going to put runners at first and second. Another lazy fly ball. Andrew Bishop, though, gets on base.
That hit by pitch, by the way. Once again, looked like no fun at all.
Definitely not. The Tarp Skunks are almost out of the inning, but yeah, now they got runners at first and second. Two out here. Carter Kipp struck out looking his first out bat. Ooh, just fouls that one on the end of the bat. Kipp could really bust this game open here. Probably really help his confidence as well.
Really takes that front foot and kind of pulls it away from his body towards third base. Mador, very similar kind of approach.
Ball gets away from the catcher. That's going to advance the runners. Puts them in scoring position here. This is a perfect time for Kipp to just send a base hit right up the middle there.
Yeah. Delansky, I don't know what really happened there. He just couldn't squeeze that one. That one was just a pitch that he didn't catch. In summation, it was a good pitch that he didn't catch.
Uh-oh. Got the fire trucks rolling in there somewhere.
Yeah.
You can hear them in the background.
Whoa.
That's a bit outside.
That was a curveball.
Having some good Canada Day fun there, resulting in a fire truck. 2-1 the count here on Carter Kipp.
Just missed on that pitch.
3-1 the count. Is it a hitter's count here? Carter Kipp.
Outfield really playing shallow for Kipp. I think this is the first time they've seen him.
And he's only played 5 games for the Ironbacks this year. So, pitch gets away from him again, but it doesn't matter. He's going to walk Kipp to load the bases.
Lefty, lefty.
That's right. We talked about Briggs starting to maybe heat up a little bit here. Walked his first at bat. Had 2 doubles on the weekend. This is a perfect time to just keep that train rolling.
Yeah. And you
Ace
gotta.
is drunk.
Bellows really struggled finding his zone, so interesting to see how Briggs approaches this as a bat.
Ooh. Curveball just inside for ball 1.
He's
Kind of
really
shook you off a little bit off the plate.
he's missed a lot with his curveball.
He has. He's having real trouble finding the plate, which could be doing music to the ears of the Ironbacks hitters. Again. Oh.
Oh, that was a favor.
That
Excuse me, sir. Could you do me a favor? That's
was interesting. for
That
sure.
was.
Just outside
Not
again.
suggesting, of course, that he was actually
That
doing a favor,
almost
but it was a
looked-
generous strike call.
Looked like the exact same pitch there for
Yeah.
ball 2, as the strike was called for strike 1.
I have to think at 2-1, you're just going to see fastballs. He's not even been close with his curveball.
just outside again. This could
Man,
be trouble here. 3-1 the count.
And you could see him aiming it. He's really scuffling out there.
Briggs should just be sitting around waiting for the pitch to come right down center. Wait for his pitch here. Drive it out in the outfield.
Like, if you're Briggs, you got to really shrink the zone and look for a perfect pitch if you're going to swing.
Just late on that one. That's going to be foul territory. Second baseman's under it for the out. The Ironbacks leave 3 runners aboard here. Score's still 4-2 as we head to the top of the 4th. We're back here for the top of the 4th inning. 4-2 Ironbacks here. We got Nathan Borchett, the extra hitter, coming up for the Tarp Skunks. He flied out to center field his first at-bat. We got Jaden Corbin still on the hill. He was able to get out of the jam there with runners at the corners and the back half of the top of the 3rd, sorry.
And here it is, a sweet little slow curveball. Such a cheeky way to open an at-bat. I love it, though.
I think it really ate up a couple of the Tarp Skunks hitters last inning there with that slow curveball.
Oh, man. Got squeezed. That was a pretty good pitch. I think sped up the delivery, sped up the pitch. Thought he caught the corner, but it's 1-1. There it is again. A hesitation pitch and a nice...
Borchett looking a little maybe lost at the plate there.
Macy's Day Parade floating curveball.
Seems to be working for him. Why mess with a good thing?
Oh, goodness gracious. This is
consistency here.
That's a tough one.
Calls. That's a tough call. It looked like strike 3 from up here. Just fouled back to stay alive. 2-2 still to count as our PR guy thought the ball was coming to him.
PA guy is he is the human exclamation point. It's he's quick to exclaim.
Strike
or
3 call. Beautiful, Kay.
3rd good ship lollipop curveball to finish him off.
Borchett
Beautiful.
had to give him the stare down there after that one.
Did he?
He wasn't happy with that.
That's cheeky. It's cheeky that he tried that 3 times and got away with it. I love it that he did.
That's right. Dangerous Brady Marshall up the bat here for the Tarp Skunks. Shortstop. Singled in the 1st inning. Came around to score.
I think last game I said, there it is again. He's just all day, every day on that slow curveball. I think it's the first time I said it was Shamrocks and Shenanigans outing for him. The second time was rhyming and stealing. I think this is just straight up, he's crafty.
He is. He's
the old Beastie Boys. He's crafty, and he's just our type.
That's right.
I honestly think I have the most fun watching him pitch.
He has been interesting. I think he's got a nice repertoire. Again, that slow delay there, I really enjoy watching. throwing off the hitters. Very deceptive.
And he's thinking, full-time thinking.
Oof,
So,
just inside there for ball 3.
that's a 7-Eleven of thinking out there. It's 24/7.
24/7.
You can get a big gulp if you want.
Big gulps. Hey, see you later.
Corn dog and a big gulp here in Canada today, Jesse. What do you think?
Yeah, I mean, I can go for that. It's a walk, though.
Mercy.
I could
Greek-
really go for a big gulp now, actually, to cool you down on this hot summer day. There is a 7-Eleven right down the street here
Yes.
in downtown Marion.
Canadian classics. Food. We forgot about our talk about cool Canadian things.
Canadian things.
Got any food come to mind?
Oh, jeez, Canadian food. Well, obviously, you got your beaver tail, which I think is known around these parts as being.
You know, I've never
excellent
had one.
dessert. Are you kidding me?
I've never had one, man.
Are you kidding me?
It's a kind of recent phenomenon that it's supposed to be like a Canadian staple. Like, I don't know if that's always been a thing. Like, I never saw them when I was a kid.
Hey, well, there's a great dessert. I tell you, cinnamon, brown sugar, baked goods.
Is that more like a Quebec thing?
It's out there in the East Coast area. For
Like
sure.
it's more East
I've
Coast?
had them
Okay.
when I lived in Ottawa quite often. You see them around here now in these parts, especially downtown Niagara Falls.
Brady Marshall. Brady Marshall, who again, nothing but trouble in our time seeing him from a Niagara Ironbacks standpoint. Nice player.
Well, they're trying to keep him at bay here at first
Yep.
base. It's been 3 straight throws to first. He must think Marshall's about to steal second here. You got Blake
Yeah.
Herman up the bat, who walked in his first at bat. Runner's now going.
Yeah.
They knew he was stealing. They tried to check him off at first base multiple times. And the second he went down to throw the plate there, steal second base.
Marshall, that's his 11th stolen base this year, so he's a frequent flyer. Oysters would be one I would definitely go to
Oysters.
right away. I love West Coast oysters, so, Fanny Bay, but I'll take oysters from any part of Canada.
Anywhere. I know you're a big part of Tide and Vine down in Niagara
Yeah.
Falls there, the oyster shop.
Yeah, not a sponsor, but if you like seafood and you're coming to this area, you absolutely should go there.
That's right.
Tide and Vine is outstanding.
And of course, you can not appreciate a delicious poutine, fries and gravy. I think.
I would be that person.
You don't
Never
like the poutine, huh?
been a fan of poutine. I like
Is-
my fries to be
Is it the
crisp.
soggy French fry that gets
I
you?
don't like the soggy French fries.
Soggy French
Absolutely
fries.
against it. Oh, that's going to be trouble.
That's going to drop into right field. That's going to put runners at the corners. They hold Marshall at third base. That's going to bring up Ty Lagoni, the second baseman here. Had a RBI single back in the second inning. Came around to score.
It's off the end of the bat there for Herman.
That's right. That's right. Runners at the corners, 1 out.
Herman hasn't played a whole lot, so hard to go by his statistics in terms of likelihood of steal. He hasn't stole yet, but he's only had 12 at bats.
They seem to be very aggressive at trying to keep those runners off first base here. Snap
You know,
throws it quite often.
we've talked about like different things that have been challenged for the Ironbacks over the course of the season. Holding on runners is one thing I think the pitchers have actually gotten better at.
Runner goes again at second base.
In
No
terms
throw
of
to
not,
second, holds it. Runners now at second and third, 1 out. That eliminates the double play option there.
Yep.
Ty Lagoni up the bat.
So I don't even think it's so much about. I think in terms of not being overly distracted by base runners, they've gotten a lot better.
Up to second, great play by Shin. He's going to make the throw to first base, but a runner scores, gets the out. Herman advances to third base. 2 out here for Nick Fizel.
It's a heck of a play.
Flied out to left field, but got the RBI back in the second inning. That was a great play by Coach
was.
Short.
Like you can make a. I thought we were going to be talking about just trying to keep the ball in front of you being a big deal, but he made the out.
That's right. It looked at trouble at first here. Our PR guy thought it was going right up the gut. Shin slid over to his left, made the play.
Yes. Yes, yes. PA guy is the boy who cried wolf.
You gotta take his outburst with a grain of salt.
Right. You have to like rework the proportion
That's right.
to get it to be more aligned with reality.
Upstairs, ball 2 here to Frizzell.
Corbin's missing a little bit more here the last few batters.
Trying to innings extended a little longer than maybe he was hoping for. That's a can of corn to the left fielder. Shin calling him off. Briggs makes the catch for the 3rd out. The Tarp Skunks get one back, and it's 4-3 Ironbacks as we head to the bottom of the 4th. Hey, we're back here for the bottom of the 4th inning. It is 4-3 Ironbacks against the Tarp Skunks. Devin Medor up to bat.
It's just missed out on some Canadian trivia happening here at the
Ooh,
ballpark. Some
yes.
good old-fashioned trivia. So let me ask you some Canadian trivia, Jesse.
Okay.
Fa-
First pitch swinging there. Short play, the shortstop. Medor grounds out for the 1st out.
Oh, that's an excellent play. Brady Marshall.
a
Just
great-
breaking hearts here in Southern Ontario.
That was a great play at short there.
Was.
Got by the 3rd baseman, but not by Marshall, who made a quick throw to first for the out.
It kind of looked like Herman might have tipped that a little bit, too.
I thought he was.
And Marshall stuck with it.
Chase Hubble up here struck out his first at bat.
Famous Canadian children's program that involved a tickle trunk.
Oh boy, Mr. Dressup.
Mr. Dressup.
One of my favorite shows is growing up, actually, Mr. Dressup.
Who could think of more creative things to do with the leftover cardboard innard from a roll of toilet paper than Mr. Dressup?
Mr.
Like,
Dressup.
he was a champ at that stuff.
Maybe the only other guy could have been, I don't even know his name, the gentleman from Art Attack who would turn anything into something.
From what?
Art Attack, 2 parts glue, 1 part water, you know.
Was that
something.
is that Canadian
No,
stuff?
I'm just saying the only other guy who did something with a toilet paper
Gotcha.
roll.
I'm not familiar with this at all.
You never watched Art Attack?
Yeah,
Oh,
never have.
okay. Guess
Speaking of Canadians, we've got good old Chase Hubble up at the plate.
straight to
There
left
you
field.
go.
For Hubble, showing some pop there. Gets on first base. 1 out here. Top of the order for Carter Shin.
Now batting, your shortstop, Number 5, Carter Shin.
He's 2 for 2 today with a double, a single, an RBI, and a run scored. He's having a good day.
Amazing in the field, too.
He has been amazing. That play is
Quite
short
a day.
last inning.
Yeah.
Matching Brady Marshall with it. I can see what you did. Els can do the same.
Here's a big Canadian question for you, Jesse.
Uh-oh.
Butter tart with raisins or no?
No raisins.
Come
No
on.
raisins.
Come on. You want those
We
raisins.
just don't see eye to eye today.
We don't. We're on opposite sides of that.
I got the pound from our producer to the left there agreeing with me
Did he?
that he does not like raisins in his butter tart.
Come on, guys.
I think you're getting outnumbered here, Darren.
The original Canadian butter tart had raisins in it. That's just history.
And obviously
That's
they had to
just history.
adapt the original Canadian butter tart because not enough people were eating it. So maybe they took the raisins out of it and it took off.
You guys are soft. That's the problem.
You know what? I actually just don't like raisins. I think that's my problem.
Want to know? Runner on first. He's. It's a strike zone in Bello. Had some struggles
Yeah,
relating
very
to each other today.
inconsistent,
Yeah.
I would say. They're usually professional umpires, maybe getting affected by the heat, perhaps. It's toasty down there.
It's a big day. It's Canada Day.
He's got his red
He's
polo
wearing a
on.
red shirt. He's
That's
not
right.
used to wearing a red shirt. That can throw anybody off.
That's right. I looked at my closet today. I actually don't even own any red. So
Me either. Never been a fan.
there's a straight goal.
It's a good. I've never been a fan of red. Mel finds that exceptional. Yeah, no, as a shirt for a shirt, no. It just feels like it's not for me. No.
You know, I'm not a big fan of red myself either, actually. Just don't know why. Just
I think
outside, 3-1
if you
the
like
count.
red shirts, you also might like Diet Coke, and that's not a path I want to travel down. The Diet Coke. No, it's not, man. I'm just talking. This is just powers of observation here. I'm just watching the world turn. These are things I pick up on.
No real statistics, though.
No. I'm just, yeah.
Just sitting in the food court, making a play.
Look at
Another
this guy.
short,
You
lazy
can't get him
single,
out.
3 for 3. Same spot 3 times in the game here. Going to left field. Runners at first and second.
He went,
Alex Keene up.
he went right back to his bread and butter.
That's
that
right.
sweet spot.
That's right.
Your right field,
If it ain't broke, don't fix it.
Alex Keene.
You're not going to stand there and left. I'm just going to keep hitting it there.
You know, I tend to think when I see Keane step up, it's a lefty. You know, you got lefty, but in the limited times I've seen him up against lefties, he doesn't seem the least bit put off by it.
Phased by it, no?
Really hangs in there with them. It's a big opportunity.
That's right. Let's bust the game wide open here. 2 runners on.
Wow.
Just
That curveball has been nowheres near home plate so far today. And that's got to be tough when you're pitching and one of your pitches is not remotely located near home plate.
right.
That's tough.
We've seen that with our Ironbacks pitchers, right? When you
Yeah.
maybe got a curveball and a fastball, but you really can't locate that second pitch.
Yeah, and it makes it easier for the hitters. Oh. That pitch. But I mean, how many times am I going to act surprised that that pitch is not called a ball today? I mean, shame on me.
Shockingly, it might just be called a ball in about 2 more pitches.
Maybe. Guess it's
Runners going to third, double steal, not in
There you
time,
go.
throw to the outfield.
Help.
Runners. Catcher throws it away. Chase Hubble runs in. Shin slides into third base. 5-3 Ironbacks here.
There might have been some questioning from beside me from the scorers table about the wisdom of that play, and I get it. But what do you know, Joe?
I'll say Eddie Delansky with a snap throw to third with a double steal. Just missed the third baseman over there, allowing Hubble to run through to score. Key now up still, 2-1 the count. Carter Shin on third base.
Oh,
Just a little late on that one there. Big gap in left center. I think That's maybe where you're trying to aim here to bring that runner home for another RBI.
Infield in on the grass here. Pretty much everybody on the right side on the grass. Third baseman and shortstop just off the grass.
Get away with one of our favorite lazy fly balls here to score that run.
That should get him home.
There. Fly to center field. Shin tags up. He's coming home. Run's not going to be in time, and another run scores to bring the 6-3, for the Ironbacks.
You know, and full credit to Keene there, because that was the first good curveball
That
he's thrown today.
Right.
And he hung in there on it.
Marcus Butts, another Ironbacks hitter, having himself a day. 2 for 2, 2 RBIs, double, single. Nobody on here, though.
Yeah. Very different hits. The first one was a rocket. Second one was kind of a excuse me off the end of the bat. Starting to find the curveball a little bit.
Just outside.
Ooh. That's the first time somebody's knocked on that door and it hasn't opened.
Went for the same pitch again, I think, there.
Yeah, a little further outside that one.
Fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on me.
That was actually playing on the PA the other day. I didn't really understand why. There it is. Door opens. That time somebody was answered. Come on in. You want a coffee? 3-1.
Yeah. Shot to right field. Bremner's under it for the third out, but the Ironbacks scored 2, and it's 6-3 as we head to the top of the 5th.
Okay, you're the Iron.
Back here for the top of the 5th. It's 6-3 Ironbacks over the Jamestown Tarp Skunks. Eddie Delansky, catcher here, up for bat for the Tarp Skunks. He walked in his first at back in the second inning.
Ooh.
Curveball by Corpin there. Luckily, that looked like it was only 45
Yeah.
miles an hour hitting him in the
Yeah,
back.
yeah, exactly. He's okay. I mean, that was. It's like getting hit with a marshmallow. You're gonna
That's
shake
right.
that off. You're gonna be all right.
I think you'll be fine there. He came in so slow, he was able to duck, bend, get out of the way, and still hit him in the back.
Yeah, yeah.
Delansky last inning made a snap throw to try to catch the runner stealing third base, but threw it away. That allowed the Ironbacks to score a couple runs last inning, keep the inning alive. Back to the top of the order here from Matthew Dumas,
Just
center
out.
fielder, 0 for 2 today. Bunting. That's a dangerous play. He's going to be safe. And a bunt single in the infield. First hit of
That's
the
a
day.
tough way to start things off.
It's going to be real trouble here as it's going to start bringing the heart of the order for the Tarp Skunks with 2 runners on. First, Jacob Haynes, wearing a new jersey today, number 23, usually number 16. I think we've resolved our jersey crisis for the Tarp Skunks. We
Yeah.
figured everything out. It's 2 for 2 today, single and a double. First pitch, swinging foul ball to the hot dog stand.
I always get thrown off when people talk glowingly about Luke Combs' cover version of Fast Car. It hurts my feelings.
I couldn't
Because
even
the
tell you
original's
that
so good.
Luke Combs is, so
Not a Luke Combs fan.
yeah, no.
Oh,
That's a shot to
that's
single.
through.
That's going to get through the infield there. Delansky running from second all the way to around to score. And it's going to be 6-4. Runners still at first and second. That's
And this is-
Haynes' 3rd hit of the day.
Now batting number 14.
There's some conversations going on at home plate. I'm not sure. It seems kind of animated between Smith and Gatens. Pretty animated. I have no idea what it was about. I don't know. Gatens seems heated. Smith seems
Manager
to just
coming
be
out to
shrugging
square
it off
things
at this
Richard
point.
Griffin coming out to cool the water
I can't
down.
imagine what that's based upon.
Stand on the plate, maybe. I'm not sure what's going on there, but everything's back to normal now. Umpire's got his mask on. Nolan Smith out. He struck out looking with a
seems
sneaky,
like a-
cheeky curveball by Corpin back in the 4th inning. Sorry, the 3rd inning. He is up now with 2 runners on and no out. First pitch down low for a ball.
It's amazing how quickly things can go wrong, right?
That's
Hit
right.
by pitch, a little bunt single, which the infield grass just ate up as it tends to do.
Especially after all that rain we got, it probably slowed it down even more.
Yeah, little single between 3rd and short. Suddenly everything is leaning in the wrong direction from the Ironbacks standpoint.
So turns to second base, but that's the only play he's got there to get the force out at second. 1 out here, runners at the corners.
Nice play by Bishop. I mean, we talked about struggling at the plate a little bit, but he's a couple singles today, and he's always looked really good in the field.
He has. He's been really good at first base for sure.
Yeah, and second base.
And second base. Actually, he was surprisingly effective at second base.
Yeah.
After the 14 hot dogs, you know, he was just flying out there.
Holding the runner on at first.
That's right. We got the dangerous Justin Bremner up. 0 for 2 today. Grounded to a double play. You figured he'd switch his bat up by now, but he's still rocking the pink bat. 2 runners on.
Kip even with the bag at third base. Middle infield's playing back. It's a good hitter.
It'll be interesting what to do. See what Corporate does here to attack Bremner with runners on.
Yeah, Bremer doesn't generally get cheated at the plate.
No, and you can definitely probably see him in the box here being a little frustrated that he's 0 for 2. Just upstairs for
2
ball
and 1.
2.
Corpin not really finding his best self right now. Still fighting.
A balk again by
That's a-
Corpin on the pitch in there. That's going to score a double run as Dumas comes in to score. It's going to be
It's amazing.
6-5 for the Ironbacks now.
Amazing how many often we see box here.
It is
I-
incredible, quite frankly. I don't think I've ever seen so many box before in my life.
Yeah.
Ball outside. That's going to be ball 3.
It's a big
To
break
Bremner.
for Tarp Skunks.
Ball gets away from the catcher here and a pass ball. Let's go to
6'5".
advance the runner, no, Smith, the third base.
This.
Let's go to load the count 3-2 here to Bremner. That's a fly ball. Kips under it for the out.
Got a break there, and Bremner has not looked his usual self so far today.
No, he's been very vanilla, we'll say, in the
Right,
the bat
and he
today.
was dangerous as all get out last time we saw him. But I mean,
Yeah.
that's baseball, you know. It's a flow state thing sometimes, and it just feels like he's not in it right now. There's a huge out for
Nathan Borsha
Corbin.
here. He struck out his last at bat on another sneaky curveball by Corbin. Let's see if he goes back to it. First pitch swinging.
Yeah, it's,
Sounded good, but as our PR guy said, 500 feet foul there.
yeah, led to some exclamation points from the man who kind of deals in exclamation points as a currency. RPA, man.
Curveball in
Ooh.
for a ball, though.
Oh.
That's a shot to right.
Oh,
That's going to be
mercy.
trouble there.
Oh,
he got
goodness.
it. What an excellent
What
catch
a catch!
by Chase Hubble in center field for the third out. That looked like trouble. But the Tarp Skunks get 2 on the board, and it's 6-5 as we head to the bottom of the 5th.
Now over to Amara for fun on the field.
We're back here at the bottom of the 5th inning. It's 6-5 Ironbacks over the Tarp Skunks. They did get 2 runs last inning. Corbin was able to battle his way out of it there. We got Brock Granger up to bat. Special guests in the booth announcing out here. Excellent work done by that PA. New special guest
Absolutely.
announcer.
Absolutely. We could have a new PA person.
We could.
Sam Rickman. You may remember him from the Die Hard series there. Last seen falling from a building.
That's going to be a base hit there. Lagoni bobbled it as a ground base up to second base.
Everything is a base hit today.
Hey, we'll take it.
Everything's coming up base hit.
We'll take it. Granger's first knock of the day. Again, the Ironbacks starting with a runner aboard with to start an inning.
That catch by Hubble to end last inning deserves
Was
a little more conversation.
Thing of beauty, wasn't it?
That was great. Like we talked about him being solid, that was an instance of spectacular.
We thought it was trouble for sure. First pitch swinging, Connor Gates up to third base.
It
Makes
almo-
the catch there. A little less
yeah,
animated as the last time it was up to third base, but
he almost went
backwards.
falling backwards again.
Again.
Which was, you know, a signature move here. It's
Maybe
you
that's
know,
what it is. We get a lot of animated play out there at third base with the visiting teams lately. Who's that one there from? Is it Batavia or the third baseman Santiago with the team with the pajamas there?
Oh yeah, yeah, that's right.
Andrew Bishop here. He's 2 for 2 up the bat. 2 singles. Just starting to maybe warm up a little bit here for the Ironbacks.
Rickman has only pitched 6 1/3 innings, but he's given up.
Right down the. Oh, what a great
What
catch
a play! Are you
by
kidding
Blake
me?
Herman.
That's a play and a half.
Doubles up. That was a great play. Some wicked fielding by the Tarp Skunks that inning. The Ironbacks go down in order. 6-5. Still, they lead as we head to the top of the 6th.
What a fantastic job.
We're back here for the top of the 6th inning. It is 6-5 Ironbacks over the Tarp Skunks. Some great defense we've seen in the last inning there in the 5th between both teams, quite frankly.
Yeah.
It's excellent showing there. Hubble in the outfield. Blake Herman at third base there making a great snag for the double play. We got a new pitcher on the mound for the Ironbacks, Derek Risberry, wearing my favorite number 13. Darren, what can you tell us about Derek Risberry?
He's out of Burlington, Ontario.
Okay.
You know, last time we saw him, he really scuffled. He started a game, and then I really felt like he got into trouble. I think I put it that he seemed to be having an adversarial relationship with the dirt on the mound. He was kicking it around a lot, so I'm not sure. What's going on? Oh, okay. So we're doing our food order. So.
That's right. We got Brady Marshall coming up to bat here for the Tarp Skunks. Dangerous today in the field at the plate. He got the Tarp Skunks going in the 4th inning there. A walk and a stolen base to come around to score.
Yep. He has been fantastic. Both
Yes.
times we've seen him, one of our favorites to watch.
Definitely.
I would just say at every facet of the game, outstanding.
That's right.
More Canadian trivia.
I was going to say we got a little time here. Let's do some more Canadian content.
Okay, so outstanding drink to have after Sunday morning hockey, Canadian classic, cocktail.
Cocktail. Well, it have to be.
I don't know, it was a cocktail. Go ahead.
Well, I guess I'd say a beer anyways. Canadian, most Canadian. I mean, I like my local brewery, DQ Falls, for a nice, cold, refreshing Morningstar cream ale. I mean, the ever-popular OV of choice down here in Meriden.
OV? Is that a Meriden thing, you think? I don't know. I thought that was like a Welland thing. I think
think it's
every
maybe just a
community.
Niagara thing, maybe,
Yeah, I think
you know?
every community likes to accuse the other local community. Like, you guys are the ones who like OV, not
We
us.
just drink it because it's available.
But
right?
my dad drank that. That was staple.
Sharp right field there. Keen's running under it.
No, I'm thinking of a
First
mixed
down.
drink though.
A mixed drink.
Not for every Sunday after hockey, but every once in a
Oh,
while.
maybe a Canadian Caesar.
There you go.
Spicy or
Atta
non-spicy?
boy.
Brady Herman.
Do you like the spicy or non-spicy, Darren?
Oh, a little bit of spice.
Definitely a little bit of
Absolutely.
spice,
And I
right?
gotta have the pepper on the rim of the glass too.
Absolutely.
Like, it has to be there.
Absolutely.
It's nice to see Riseberry looking comfortable because, like I said, last time he was out here, I'm not sure what was up with him, but he just seemed like he couldn't find it.
Well,
You know?
confidence builder to get the dangerous Brady Marshall up. So now you're going down the bottom half of this lineup here
Yep.
that, quite frankly, has not been as dangerous as the top of the lineup. So
Nice opening stanza there. Nice strike. There you go.
there, Brady Marshall fouling down early, 0-2 here.
Yeah, and
There's
if you came into this game looking for a generous outside corner of the plate, you're gonna get it, baby. So at least for the most part today, pitchers
Yeah,
have gotten it.
Yeah, I agree with that. There's been some questionable calls, I think, at times where you think it should have been a strike. Oh, shot to third base. Kip with it. Turns, fires, gets the out with a great stretch by Bishop at first. 2 down here early for Riseberry.
Nice play. And good for Kip.
That's a great play at third base there. Quick
Yep.
turn, fire. Excellent stretch out by Bishop, using his full extension there to get the out.
If I had to say like defensive play of the game today, I don't know if I could pick between Hubble's catch and Herman. Like, both so good.
I would have to go with Hubble's catch just because it stole runs away. That was
Yeah.
dangerous. That looked like a potential.
But I'll tell you that, I mean, Herman, you can't underestimate it, right? He had to dive to make that catch, got up in a heartbeat,
You're right.
and threw a bullet to first base,
You're
like
right.
on the money.
You're right. Now, the only thing I would maybe change my mind on a little bit there was the fact he also made some acrobatic plays, catching foul balls on the left side of the
So, yeah, which was... Oh, everybody is walking to the dugout on that one because
There's your outside corner call
that-
that we didn't get this time.
the umpire giveth and the umpire taketh away.
Okay, he just wanted to extend this inning just a little longer. Just
Riseberry.
inside.
You know, and this is a good test for Riseberry to get it, you know. Adversity comes. Yeah, and he
It's
shanked
gonna
that
be a
one.
walk. It's amazing how things change on a whim like that. Think you're out of the inning, 2 pitches later, he's standing on first base.
Well, and I think that's the test for any pitcher. As someone who's failed this test, I know what it is, which is when adversity comes, that you keep it together.
That's right.
And not to say he suddenly fell apart, but he couldn't find a strike zone after that.
Yep. Nico Fizel coming up here, left fielder, 0 for 2 today with an RBI though for the Tarp Skunks. Runner on base. Tyler Goney's at first base with the walk last at bat.
Yeah,
Got some questionable opinions here from our fans and our PA announcer from that last pitch.
yeah, our PA announcer is emotionally invested.
Ooh, check swing, but that's going to be a strike there to even things up at 1-on-1 to
But,
Nico Fizel.
The questioning hasn't just been limited to our PA announcer.
No, you're quite right. The crowd was also concerned about that one as well. Just inside, ball 2.
See, Riseberry kind of dropped down there a little bit on the delivery. Oh,
Another just inside.
3-1.
That call has been made a couple times in this game today. That one, not so much. I think the umpire's hearing you up top of the booth there and taking those calls away. It's going to run the count 3-1. That's a strike Wow.
The batter just threw away his bat,
there. Wow.
thinking he had a walk for sure. So you've seen it from either side. There's certainly zero suggestion of any impartiality. It's just
Wow.
he's calling it, I guess,
Full
somewhat
counts.
erratically for both sides here. There goes the runner.
Going, that's ball 4. Now he can throw his bat. The umpire knows that we've received our hot dogs up here in the booth and now allowing us to eat them.
Yeah. And you've got to worry about Riesberry a little bit because the body language kind of gone sideways here.
That's right. And now as you're running in runners at first and second here with 2 out, got Eddie Delansky, the catcher, up the bat. He was hit by the slowest curveball possible last inning.
Right.
That's a first pitch strike there, though.
There you go. Riesberry right back at it, attacking the zone, gets the call.
It's a shot to right field. Looks like it's going to get out of play, though. Delansky down early, 0-2 in the count.
Big opportunity for Riesberry.
See if he can get out of this inning here without giving up any runs with 2 runners aboard. The danger here would be if
count
you
is
get
0-2.
on. Go back to the top of the order here.
That is strike 3. There you
Great
go.
pitch by Riesberry. He's pumped on the mound. 2 runners left aboard. 6-5 Ironbacks as we head to the bottom of the 6th. Back here for the top of the 6th inning here at George Taylor Field. It is, bottom of the 6th inning. 6-5 Ironbacks over the Tarp Skunks. We got third baseman Carter Kipp. He struck out looking and walked on his 2 at-bats today.
Made a nice play there in the field.
He did that double play there at third base.
See if that rubs off at the plate a little bit.
Takes a first pitch ball there. That's a pop fly to the first baseman, Nolan Smith, who's under it for the first out.
Any other Canadian classics that come to mind when you think Canada Day?
Well, definitely barbecues, right? I think as we're eating hot dogs here in the booth, definitely a nice Canadian barbecue just brings homage to that, you know?
True.
Followed by some fireworks, which I don't know if we'll have any tonight because it's kind of a midweek Canada Day, but I heard them popping off in my yard last night and the night before.
Yeah, it was like 11 o'clock last night, which is interesting.
Yeah, always never a dull moment. You gotta wait till it gets dark, right? That's the problem with summer. It doesn't get dark till it feels like 11 o'clock at night.
Sam Rickman, Getting pinched on that first pitch. Really good one. I think he must have
hit batter
hit
by
him,
Grayson
yeah.
Briggs. He's going to take his base there for the second time of the game. He's been on base. No hits, but a walk and a hit bat. Let's go to Devin Medor, who's 0 for 2 today.
I was trying to think of like classic Canadian shows.
Yep, okay.
I mean, other than the obvious, I mean, you know, our friends Bubbles, Julian,
Right,
Ricky,
Trailer Park Boys. Yep.
Jalapeno Chips.
Jalapeno Chips.
Jalapeno Chips for Ricky. Ooh, that's close play at first. That's one. Littlest Hobo, traveling from town to town, reminding us that life is transient, you know, that not everybody's always going to be there. Sometimes they're moving on to help people in other places.
That's right. Ooh. That's a big cut by Medor there.
Beachcombers, which might be before your time.
I think so.
Remember the angst-filled relationship between Bruno Gerussi's Nick
Yep.
and good old Relic with the toque.
Definitely a little maybe before my time there for sure.
That might even been before my time, Beachcombers, to be honest. And I never really understood what they were doing, what Relic and Nick were fighting about as beachcombers. But I guess it's the stuff that you pick up combing the beach.
Speaking of that, when I was away on vacation last weekend, I'm on the beach, and there I find an old man doing the metal detector. In the
Metal detector is a huge thing at the
in the
beaches.
middle of the lake. He's got his pants pulled up to his knees.
He's in the
walking
lake?
through the lake, looking for treasure.
Really?
Yep. In
Wow.
Tilbury, Ontario.
Tilbury. That's a weird. But maybe it's the idea that people go swimming, they got some jewelry on.
Change or
I don't know.
something, yeah.
Like, I would just. It feels like such. It's like wearing sweatpants out
So
on a dinner date. Like,
it
you've
was-
just given up, right? You know what I mean? And I think if you got a metal detector and you're at the beach, you know what I'm saying?
You're looking for something special. I don't know if he found anything, quite frankly. He was out there all afternoon.
I think there's no amount of stuff you can find to overcome what you just
Hours of walking through the sunshine.
become as a person.
That's right,
Yes.
yeah. But he had the whole
I don't
setup, so he must
know.
be doing it often, you know?
What are you going to do? And go look for metal? It just, you know.
You never know what's buried under there, you know?
Yeah.
2-2 to count here on Medor. Briggs on first base.
Briggs really taking an aggressive lead.
He's
Hey,
been
a
on the
little
base pass a
lucky
couple
there.
times today, doing a little bit of dancing over there.
Yeah, trying to get in the pitcher's head. One of the players on the Tarp Skunks actually taking psychology in university. I think it might be Herman. So perhaps he can.
Just
Oh,
outside.
goodness.
That's going to bring the count
That's-
full here on Medor.
I have no idea what a strike is today. So I'll just tell you what the umpire says from this point forward. Full count.
Throws it
Oh.
away, though. Briggs is going to advance to second base. Could be trouble. He's going to third. He's going to get in there safely to third base on the ball thrown away by the pitcher, Sam Rickman.
Error on the pitcher,
Scoots
it looks
away by
like.
Smith. Error on the pitcher. That changes things dramatically here for the Ironbacks now. Medor full count. Briggs on third base. 1 out.
And give Briggs credit. He was really being aggressive there. I mean, and you understand why Rickman was thrown over. There was an opportunity to pick him off, but there's a downside.
Strike 3 call. Medor chases that one upstairs for out number 2. Chase Hubble.
You know, Medor's in that spot that as a hitter you hate to get to.
That's
kind
right.
of journey into self-doubt, and
That's right.
you just don't feel from here it looks like he's just not comfortable up there.
Look at the defensive whiz, Chase Hubble, coming up to bat. He
Rickman
struck
come-
out, singled. He's 1 for 2 today, but made an incredible catch deep in the center field at George Taylor Field for the third out back in the 5th. He's got a lazy grounder to third base. It'll be easy. 1-2.
He's a
Now
player.
Go the Tarp Skunk or the Ironbacks, and it's 6-5 still as we head to the top of the 7th.
For our special guest today, the announcer Cade.
all the way from Harrington, Ontario. This
We're back here at George Taylor Field, top of the 7th inning. Got Matthew Dumas, center fielder for the Tarp Skunks up. He's 0 for 1 with a walk and a run scored. Riseberry back on the mound for the Ironbacks there. A big K to get himself out of the 6th inning last.
Yep.
Help build his confidence there, I think, as you go into these late innings. Up by a run.
Aggressively attacking the strike zone thus far. It's good to see. I think the biggest thing is just to be competitive on each pitch so that hitters aren't coming up there.
More so now with the dangerous top of the lineup for the Tarp Skunks as well. So
Yep.
I think the best point of attack would just be going in and attacking them, making them hit it to you guys.
Yep. I mean, we saw that one inning with Corpin, right? Hit a guy to start it off, and then
Things kind of unraveled for him a little bit.
yeah, like it's so easy, right? Make him hit the ball.
Oh, there it is. Stand up, stretch up there.
Defense has been good today. Yanked those last 2 pitches.
Is it a little overthrow a little bit there? It's going to make the
Yeah.
full count here on Dumas. Right down to Bishop at first base. Easy play for the out.
Yeah, you don't want anybody on base when Jacob Haynes comes to the plate.
That's right. 3 for 3 today. 2 singles, a double, an RBI. He's been the motor and the engine for the
And
Tarp Skunks today.
yeah, nothing cheap about anything he's done at the plate today. It's all been serious.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right.
It's not kidding around up there.
Takes a first pitch outside for ball 1.
I thought Mel would have fit in some Leonard Cohen today. I'm a little disappointed that I've heard Stomp and Tom Connors. I've heard Anne Murray, which was an awesome job there, so full credit. I can't have it all, but I really thought we would have got at least little Leonard Cohen.
Well, speaking of music, let's talk about our favorite Canadian concerts we've been to.
Yeah, that's good. That's good. I recently saw Feist, Leslie Feist,
Nice.
in St. Catharines, and she's brilliant on so many different levels. I love the way she plays the guitar. There's just magic in almost everything she does. I saw Rush a lot
Yep.
when I was younger.
Well, it's got to be a popular choice down here in Niagara, right? Jacob Haynes takes a walk.
Trying to think Who else I would put from Canadians? I never saw Tragically Hip. I was,
Really?
for some reason, because people forget they were just so played so much back in the day. It was easy to be like, okay, that's it. I don't like these guys.
Yeah?
I've had the opportunities since to
Yep.
kind of revisit and appreciate how unique it is. You know, I mean, there's only one.
Gord Downey.
There's only one Gord Downey.
He was a wizard up there on the stage. I've seen him a couple times actually.
Did you? Where'd you see him?
I saw him in Oshawa one year, and then I actually saw him in Barrie. I drove all the way up to Barrie and saw him at an outdoor concert they played. It was really great.
Those outdoor summer concerts, man.
Something else, I tell you.
They are like there's just something that kind of captures the moment of being there,
That's
and
right.
being engaged in the moment. You
That's
know?
right. Sitting in the grass or something like that, having a cold beer, listening to some music.
Yeah, it's the old Aldous Huxley thing: attention to attention.
Ooh, that's a strike there by first baseman Nolan Smith. Hubble under it again with a great
Man.
catch in center.
Hubble took a quick step in initially when that ball was hit, and then figured out real quick that he's going to have to get the heck back.
That's right, but he caught the ball, got it to the infield quickly. The hold off Haynes at first to bring up the dangerous Justin Bremner, who's still sporting the pink bat.
I actually, one of the things being Canadian is traveling to the northern part of the United States.
Yep.
Just thinking about it, like one of the best shows I've saw was seeing Wilco at the Knox Albright Museum in Buffalo, which is a really great spot. Again, on a summer night, sun going down, breeze in the trees,
Never forget
beautiful
about the
stuff.
Art Park as well. Great shows played at the Art Park. right?
Absolutely. Just and you know it's funny. There are people that will actually go, and you can almost sit across the Niagara River there
And just listen to
and
it from there.
and hear it. Yeah. So there are people who stay in Canada to hear those shows at our park, and I love that little town too.
Runner goes to second base. They got him picked off. Gets some great toss, catch there, catching Haynes trying to steal second base. 6-5 Ironbacks. We go to the bottom of the 7th inning. We're back here at George Taylor Field for the bottom of the 7th inning. 6-5 Ironbacks. We got Carter Shit coming up. Last inning ended on a great pickoff play there by the catcher. Connor Gates picking off Jacob Haynes trying to steal second base. Something we didn't mention about the Tarp Skunks. He had a player of the week last week. Christian Penchik. Pitched a no-hitter on the weekend. An air
Ouch! Where did that get him?
looks like right on the hand there. That didn't sound good. Shit's taking first base. Looks to be okay. Thankfully wearing a
I'm gonna tell you
guard?
something. I'll tell you something. That sounded like it hit the bottom of the bat. I know he's going down to first, but I thought that hit the bottom of the bat. That sounded like all bat. I don't know. He grabbed his hand,
fans in the crowd
so
are calling for it. They're still giving him
he's
first
still
base here.
still holding his hand down there. Like I honestly, his reaction was so immediate. It's hard for me to believe he didn't get hit in the hand.
Much of the dismay
But I
of
feel
the,
like it got some bat too.
The road traveling fans of the Tarp Skunks, they don't agree with that, but
Yeah, there's some questions being asked. Pitching change.
Your right fielder, number 25, Alex Key.
New pitcher coming in for the Tarp Skunks. He comes galloping out to the field. Nice jump over the third baseline. Yeah.
we got
32.
Will Taylor coming in for the Tarp Skunks here.
And you know, on a day where we've seen a lot of more diminutively statured folks, he stands out as definitely not being diminutively statured.
Definitely can recognize him in all areas of the field here. He's 6'5".
6'5". Wild.
A 6'5" lefty could be dangerous here.
So you mentioned seeing a tragedy a couple times. Would that be your favorite, best shows that you've seen?
It's hard to say for certain. I'd probably go back to my very first concert I ever saw, actually, was Bryan Adams.
Bryan Adams.
I must have been 9 or 10 years old. My first concert I went to down at the Ontario Place, which is now called Budweiser Stage, I believe.
Yeah.
But again, another great spot to see a concert, I think. Sitting in the outfield grass.
It is. It's kind of tragic what's happened to the rest of Ontario Place, but yeah, let's not go into that. But yeah, Budweiser Stage on a summer night is a special spot to be down in the lake.
Excellent. Easy to get to too, right? Hop on the train, just get right down there from Exhibition.
Yeah. Yeah, but to finish that thought, I do think one of the fundamental things about being around from this area, and I'm reminded as I research teams, is how much we actually have in common with that kind of northern part of New York State.
Right.
Do you know what I mean? It's very kind of post-industrial cities who profited from that kind of dalliance with industry, but also continue to suffer some residual negative impacts from industry.
Definitely.
Do you know?
Definitely. When
The
you
Rust
build
Belt.
solely around that, right? You kind of really relies on it. So.
Yeah, you like Niagara Falls. I can't remember what team we're playing, but researching, I forgot about the Love Canal environmental disaster. You familiar? That would have been a little bit before your time.
No, but you were sort of touching base on it a little
Yeah,
bit.
I mean they had to
during
shut down the entire town,
Right?
right? And that's like those kind of negative stories don't just exist there; they're here as well. So, a lot in common.
Got Alex Keane here. Now we're back to the broadcast.
Asking a pitcher to take off. It looks like an elastic had on the right wrist. Umpire. I don't know if Keane mentioned that to the umpire or the umpire caught that late. This looks like a tough matchup for Keane. Right on top of the plate. Squares around. That was a surprise, but Herman was really hustling in. And Herman and Hubble. That's both been fantastic in the field. Really lucky to watch these guys play today. That's a great thing about this level of baseball. You're watching guys, as we talk about almost every week. Some of these guys will play in the major leagues.
That's right.
Yeah, not every ball game you watch around here you're going to have that possibility. You have that with the players you're seeing before you. Ooh.
Down low there, even the count 1-1. Keane. Checks shit over at first base.
Shin didn't have much of a lead. A surprise.
Being a lefty there, he's got a pretty good look at him there over at first base.
Oh, he just missed that little curveball.
Be an easy catch there for Matthew Dumas at center. One away to bring up Marcus Butts. 2 for 3.
Now batting, the designated hitter, number 15, Marcus Butts.
I'm trying to remember. I was trying to remember who came up to Kids. Whose walk-up song was Kids? And Marcus Butts. You knew it. Such a good song.
It is a great song.
Just great vibes coming to play too.
Sadly not Canadian.
No. Other great Canadian things. Neil Young's guitar sound.
Yes.
Yes.
Even his unique sound, I think, as well. His voice. You know it's Neil singing.
Absolutely. You would never tell somebody to sing like that intentionally, but it works on some level.
So pop to first base there. Smith's called off by the second baseman. Ty Lagani for the second out of the inning.
Smith has really got twisted around there at first base on some of those
That's right.
pop-up and been bailed out by the second baseman Lagoni.
Granger.
Brock Granger coming up here, the extra hitter. 1 for 3 today.
Taylor's looked tough so far.
Yeah, making quick work here, the Ironbacks. Throwing 6 pitches. Ball gets away from the catcher there, and Shin's going to go easily into second base.
It's a wild pitch, I would think. Tough one. Ooh. That was a decent cut. I feel like, though, Keane just missed that pitch.
The last
launching
one,
it.
yeah.
Because I think it was a little bit of a wrinkle
Yep.
that hung up there, and he just missed it. So I don't think Taylor's been quite as dominant as his physical presence might have suggested, but it's been effective so far. Oh,
Another foul ball back to the parking lot.
Granger's taking his hacks.
1-2 to count here, 2 out. Carter Shin on second base.
Oh,
Just
oh,
down
goodness.
low. That was close there.
That was
Drawn up
called a
2-2.
ball. 2-2.
Maybe all that talk between innings from Richard Griffin, the manager of the Ironbacks, has paid off here.
Yeah, we haven't mentioned that he's been out there quite prolonged conversation with the umpires between innings, the last 2 innings, and not sure what was up.
It's going to be down low, foul ball from 3-2 the count.
Yeah. A curveball that Granger just held up on. They'd love to get another run here.
Especially in these late innings, no doubt.
Yeah, runner's going to be off with the pitch, so a big opportunity. Single scores him. Oh,
That's a huge
oh
shot to
goodness!
the right. That could be
That is-
trouble. God! Home run!
Wow.
Brock Granger. First home run here at George Taylor Field, courtesy of Brock Granger.
Absolutely.
Obviously,
Rock
didn't
that one.
practice my home run call. I was thrown off, but that one carried. The team's excited. The fans are on their feet. That scores Carter Shin. It is 8-5.
Wow, that was a huge
8-5
knock.
Ironbacks.
Yeah, rock that one.
Now batting, catcher number 11, Connor Higgins.
My home run call was going to be Merritton, the place where dreams come true,
Well, there you go.
as it went over the outfield fence. But it's in
Dreams
the
are
moment,
coming
it's
true
hard.
for the fans today, as it's 8-5 Ironbacks here.
Man, and
Late
what
in
an
the
at
game.
bat. Like, what an at bat.
It
Like we were
was.
saying, he got his hacks in there.
He battled away, got into a full
Yep.
count.
That was a tough little curveball in the dirt. The pitch previous to that, he
That's
just held up on. So full credit to him. And that was a heavy home run. You knew that coming off
That
the
was
bat,
carrying,
you know?
definitely.
That's the second home run we've seen at this field this season. His Friday night was a home run as well.
So the first home run at
By
home
the
for the
opposition.
Ironbacks,
Yes, yeah. Man, that had to feel real good for Granger. Good for him. He's been scuffling, like you look at his batting average and everything, and you knew there was more there, and he found that little more there. Great point by Mel Romanin against a big lefty. You know, not an easy thing. I'll say everything. The lefties in this lineup don't look the slightest bit off kilter against lefties. I also think Taylor, like a lot of the other lefties, hasn't really shown too much of a
an out pitch.
curveball, sliders, the stuff that kind of generally causes the most trouble when it's same
For a guy
side.
his size, you think he'd have a bit more maybe mustard on his pitches there. A little.
Man, we've seen some great stuff today here on Canada
They
Today.
have
Home runs, some amazing defense by both teams.
excellent defense.
Yeah, at the end of the inning. Yeah. Okay.
My goodness.
I think she's gonna do that.
Got a lot of the red in the crowd
Yeah,
today. A lot of
but
fans
that's like for the end of the
honoring
inning.
Canada here, wearing the red and white.
Yeah.
Sun's
Yeah.
peeking out here for the bottom of this inning.
Yeah, it's really a beautiful day.
Just outside.
It almost
full
feels
count.
like a little less humid now, too.
A
I don't know,
little.
it could just be I'm acclimatized to it at this point.
Let's go with that. It still feels like it's 35 degrees.
Yeah, okay.
Here we are. Connor Gates now battling. Just waiting for his pitch. A couple great at-bats here for the Ironbacks.
Big day for Colbinconk, Ontario, with Granger's home run.
Whereabouts is that in Ontario, you know?
No idea.
It's probably close to
Zero.
Tilbury.
Maybe it was the changeup of the walk-up song.
Shot to center field, easily under Matthew Dumas for the third out. But the damage has been done. A home run by Brock Granger brings home 2 runs. 8-5 Ironbacks here as we head to the top of the 8th.
What's that?
We're back here for the top of the 8th inning. It is 8-5 Ironbacks over the Tarp Skunks after a 2-run shot by extra hitter Brock Granger last inning. Sailed over the aforementioned Justin Bremner's head in right field. Bremner screamed at the umpire. That one went off his foot.
Bremner didn't even...
Swing at that one. They're going to call that an out.
Is he saying that hit his front foot?
Bremner's saying it hit his front foot and went down third baseline.
So Bremner's saying that hit his foot, and I tend to think that that's probably exactly what happened.
Most likely
I didn't
what
see it, but from our angle, you're not going to be able to tell that.
Just the way he kind of approached the at-bat.
Okay,
It didn't look
yeah.
like he would be able to hit a
That's Good call.
A
Good
single
call.
down there.
Get it as long as you get it right. You know.
That's right. That's right.
And I appreciate the fact that he went to the other umpire for some
That's
input.
right. Remner back up to the dish here.
Bremner, regardless, is not been the same guy we saw last game.
Not a dangerous at bat at all. Again, it could be just the pink bat. He should have switched maybe.
Could be.
Interchanging bats between innings there.
Oh, and he
That's a
just
shot
missed
to
that
center,
one.
Hubble under it.
Just
first out.
missed that one.
Here at the top of the 8th.
And I think that's his day.
That's it.
Just a wee bit off from
making some damage for sure.
Yeah. Look how far that went, and he missed it.
Yep. We got Nathan Borshot coming up, the extra hitter for the Tarp Skunks. 0 for 3 today with a strikeout. 2 flyouts to Chase Hubble, who's getting a lot of work in center field today.
Yeah, he is. It's been fabulous. This is, so far, 2 1/3 in, Riseberry's been excellent at attacking the zone and making them hit.
Definitely been better than we seen on the last time, just like you said, attacking, right?
And what a difference it makes for the defenders when they're not watching a bunch of walks, 8 pitch at bats each time, every time. Stay crisp, right?
Shot to Medora at second. Easy play over to Bishop, making quick work of the Tarp Skunks here in this 8th inning.
Yeah, look at that, right? You can just be on your toes all the time because the ball's going to be in play.
That's right, we got
Now batting third baseman number 18, Blake Marshall.
the
Shortstop, Blake Marshall at the plate.
As we might have spoke to sooner than ever dangerous Brady Marshall coming up.
Yeah, and you know what? If we were going to pick our favorite player on the team, it'd be Brady Marshall.
I think so. He just does it
Yeah.
all.
He's a guy you want to come out and watch when you
Yep.
come and watch a baseball game. It doesn't matter if he's on your team or the other team. He's up there to hit. When he gets on base, he's there to run. And when he's in the field, he wants to play everything.
That's right.
He's a ball player.
That reminds me of going to.
Right now, he's in a little bit of pain because that ball went off his foot. That can happen to the best of us.
It's happened a lot in this game, actually.
Yeah.
Talking about Marshall reminds me of going to Bison's games we used to go. We actually go to see a lot of players on the other team actually going down.
Yeah.
Watching them play, right? Giving us an opportunity. Another shot down to second base. Bedore's under it again. Quick work, 1-2-3 inning for Riseberry. That's
Look
some
at his
confidence
split.
building here. Wow.
Yeah.
8-5 Ironbacks as we head to the bottom of the 8th.
Fans, don't miss a moment of the action.
Wow.
Follow your Niagara Ironbacks online all season long.
We're back here for the bottom of the 8th inning. We got Andrew Bishop up the plate for the Ironbacks. Still 8-5 leading here. It's a first pitch strike by Will Taylor.
That's cool. Oh, that's smart. That's smart. Oh, that's cool. That's a good idea. Oh, it is.
Shot down the right field line, just foul. Bishop's down a hole early, 0-2.
Ooh.
Bishop down. 3 straight pitches for a swing and strike. It's first strikeout for Will Taylor on the day. 1 out here. He's going to bring up third baseman Carter Kipp. He's 0 for 2 today with a strike, looking back in the first inning and a walk in the third. That's a strike there by Will Taylor.
Good
Keeps the
pitch.
count 1-1. It's a shot out to the street over there.
Just behind. It's kind of been a theme for Kip at the plate thus far today.
It's a shot to second base.
Oh!
A dribbler. I
That's
think
an
Lagoni thought he had more
E4.
time than he did, and the ball just squeaked under the glove there. That's going to be an error.
Yeah. Even on the day of generous official scoring, that is not a hit. That's an E4. Here he
gonna-
comes. St.
Nolan
Catharines' finest, Nolan Phelan. Big
Right.
news on the Nolan Phelan front, Jesse.
Okay.
No mustache.
No, shaved his
And
mustache.
he's like a totally new guy. The
Oh
8
my.
pitch at bats are gone. He's just out there hacking. He's
Still
out there
got
swinging.
the Costanza wallet, though.
Still got the George Costanza wallet in the back pocket. Yep.
Phelan, no pitch hitting for left fielder Grayson Briggs. Takes a first pitch strike.
He wasn't a fan of that call. It was in the bottom of the zone ish.
You know, the umpire's probably just a little upset he got rid of the mustache.
That was the same pitch, but it's 1-1. Yeah. Listen here, babyface. I wonder if he doesn't get quite the same traction in these arguments without the stash. Oh, goodness.
Strike 2.
Oh, goodness.
I think my partner here, Darren, is maybe questioning the umpire for the very first time in our broadcast.
Yeah,
here.
today's been a tougher one, I got to say.
And he chases one outside, tried to check his swing, but he goes down.
And that's what'll happen, right? When you're seeing strikes kind of possibly out of the zone, you start chasing.
That is definitely the problem, right? Because you don't know where the strike zone actually
Right.
is.
Yeah.
It's going to bring Devin Medor up to bat. He's 0 for 3 today with the K his last at-bat. Darren, he's been struggling at the plate.
Yeah, he has.
Let's see maybe if he can do some damage here with a runner on. Bottom of the 8th inning.
He could really
Cash in
use
some insurance run here a little bit.
Yeah, he could use some self-esteem. A decent at bat. Sometimes it just takes one at bat.
That's it.
You know, one swing sometimes within an at bat to kind of get you righted. Just break out of the funk. He's in a funk right now, no doubt.
Ooh.
Yeah.
A tough one there for a strike. He needs to be a little bit of a renegade of a funk, I think, you know?
Renegades of Funk, yeah. Nice Rage Against the Machine reference there,
Sadly
Jesse.
not Canadian.
Great album.
Great album.
One of
you're
my
right.
favorites.
Ooh, chases another one there for another strikeout by Medor. Ironbacks go down to the bottom of the 8th. It's still 8-5 as we head to the top of the 9th inning.
That means 0 runs.
Welcome back here to George Taylor Field for the top of the 9th inning. We got new pitcher on the mound for the Ironbacks, Eli Thompson, who we've seen a couple times here pitch at home. Electric arm, Darren. He's coming in to close things out here for the Ironbacks in the 9th.
Always one of our favorites. Just attacks the zone.
That's what you want to see here, I think.
Works
in the last
quick.
inning too. That's what you want to see, right?
Yeah, I mean, some questions, like, it's fair to wonder, like, Riseberry looks so dialed in. Why make the change? But largely, Thompson has been their most effective pitcher.
100%. You got the score in your favor here. I think you try to close things out, get the W for the fans here in Canada Day. They're going to be in tough here facing Blake Herman. 1 for 3 today with a single and a walk.
And he's been out of this world at third base today.
He has been. He has been.
Missing. He was off in his warm-up. Hopefully he gets into the strike zone here. Got to make him want to swing those bats. Like, make him beat you with a bat.
There's a nice pitch for the first strike.
It's a fastball coming in there crisp. You know, the bottom of the zone is a generous place.
So a stroke to the gap in right field. It's going to drop for a base hit. Herman's aboard here. It's going to bring up Ty Lagoni to the bat.
Yeah, it was in on the hands, but he got enough on it just to push it over the second baseman Medora's head.
That's right. Lagoni is 1 for 2 today with a walk and an couple RBIs actually.
Played well at second base too. Well, aside from the error he made very recently.
Maybe. Yeah.
I forgot about, but aside from that, he has been
Aside
good.
from that, yeah.
Yeah. Thompson really digging up the mound. He's having some issues with his landing spot, I think.
So shot to third base. Oh, just by Kip there. Squeak it in the left. Herman gets in the third base. That's put runner at the corners here with no out at the top of the 9th for Nico Fizel coming up.
It's a tough
Taking
start.
a pitch hitter actually for Nico Fizel. Just give it a moment here. We'll find out who's coming up to bat.
Now batting, left fielder number 13.
No. 20.
Oh, sorry. Pitch hitter.
You got a pitch hitter, Dom Costello.
Dom Costello.
Dom Costello, pitch hitting. Number 20, Dom Costello.
Dom Costello pitch hitting for Nico Fizel with runners at the corners and no out here.
Costello's been real great so far this season, batting .356.
Eli Thompson in a little bit of trouble here.
Tying runner at the plate right here.
It's the first pitch strike. That's a shot to second base. That's going to score 1 run. They're going to get the
There
out
you go.
at first. Lagoni advances to second base. But the Tarp Skunks get a runner on the board, and it's 8-6 here. And unfortunately, that goes the donuts for our fans here in the crowd for the 9th.
Why in the world was Medor so close to second base with a lefty at the plate? Do you know what I mean? That was peculiar positioning.
Now batting number 5, Eddie Delansky.
But the important thing is the tying runner out. So it's 1 out. Just keep whittling away those outs.
Trying to get Eddie Delansky here, the catcher, up to bat.
It's a solid foul ball.
Struck out, looking his last at bat. He's going to walk in a hit by pitch today.
Delansky suffering one of the least painful hit by pitches that we've seen all season. Earlier on a slow Jaden Corbin
The
curveball.
slowest,
Yeah.
Jade. I think it's still actually in the air as we speak right now. Counts 1-1 here to Delansky. Just
There you
fouls
go.
back to the hot dog stand there. Hopefully he's paying attention.
Busted him in on the hands right there.
That's right. Let's get a
mean,
punch out here, Thompson.
I'd love to see him take a curveball over the outside of the part of the plate. I mean, he's really right on top of it, though. And maybe bring one on the inside part of the plate. Well, he
Just
tried
over the
outside.
That was close
Just
there.
missed.
It's going to even the count up 2-2.
I mean, now I'm thinking fastball high and tight, which is something I've been kind of talking about the last few games. Just coming inside every once in a while. Like his elbow is almost over the plate.
Shot the show. Finds a hole through the infield. That's going to score another run here for the Tarp Skunks as they're making the score close. 8-7 now. 1 out, 1 runner on there as Delansky's in at first base. It's going to go back to the top of the order, which is what you worried about here in the ninth. Trying to make quick work of the bottom half there to not get back up to their big bats. Matthew Dumas coming up.
Right.
Now Richard Griffin's having a...
You didn't want to see Jacob Haynes again.
You don't.
You didn't.
You don't. We've been talking about saying he's just missed his spots, and all it takes is one at bat to bust the game wide open.
Yep.
Tarp Skunks' favor. You got Gaines out there trying to calm down Eli Thompson.
Delansky has 1 stolen base this year. He's catcher, so it doesn't make you think stolen base.
No.
But in this league,
Stolen bases seem to be available for everybody. It's like the
Yes.
Oprah Winfrey show of stolen bases. You're getting a stolen base, and you're getting a stolen base.
Now batting, number 1, Matthew Dumas.
the third baseman way in there. Kip is like 3 steps in from third base.
Oh, Thompson hits Dumas. That's going to put runners at first and second. The dangerous Jacob Haynes coming up to bat here.
Oh
3
my
for
goodness.
3 with the walk. Picked off his last at bat, however.
Yeah, we talked about Bremner not being his best self and needing to wake up. But with Haynes, he's fully awake.
He
And he's
is.
been fully awake all
He's
game.
been on top of it all game.
Yeah.
First pitch strike. Nice pitch there by Thompson. You know, the game that Haynes is having today, he may just want to switch his jersey to 23 all the time.
I'm not even holding Dumas on.
Another
Strike 2.
0-2, getting ahead of the count here. It's a shot to center field. Hubble's going back. He's going back. It's deep. It's gone. Jacob Haynes with a 3-1 shot. It's going to make the score 10-8 here for the Tarp Skunks in the top of the 9th inning. And the out fans are going insane. The Tarp Skunks, you can hear them in the booth here. They're excited. That's what we're afraid of up here, I think.
Yeah.
Was bringing it back to the top of these big bats here, the top of the order for the Tarp Skunks. Haynes makes him pay, who's just been all over it today.
Yeah, yes. And, you know, for Thompson, looked a little not sharp to open things, and that's a good hitter
That is.
doing what good hitters do.
He got a
And
favorable
again,
count. He was 0-2, but he threw one right down center.
this is the 3rd straight game I'll talk about it. 0-2 pitches in hittable places.
He's going to bring up Nolan Smith here to the plate for the Tarp Skunks. Hasn't got a hit yet, but he's walked. Struck out looking. Fielder's choice. Flight out to Chase Hubble there. In the 7th inning. 1-1 to count. Inside
They
there for ball 2.
Done such a great job avoiding what we talked about off top, or you talked about off top, that big
Big
inning. And it was a late game Canada Day surprise for us today.
That's right. Unfortunately, this big inning has happened at the top of the ninth there to bring the Tarp Skunks now.
Maybe we
10-8.
can. We'll just talk about Neil Young's guitar sound again.
I think we need to
Maybe
bring out
that
a little
would-
Canada Day magic here.
What would the littlest hobo do right now?
Let's bring on some BTOs and take care of business.
Let's get all our Canadian references in right now while we can.
Might as well go for a soda.
There he goes, Kim Mitchell. Talking about great foods, lobster roll.
Lobster roll. I'm going to PI. Next month, I will be getting myself a lobster roll. Big strikeout by Eli Thompson here. Nolan Smith, but the dangerous Justin Bremner comes up to the bat. Hasn't got a hit yet. Still going with the pink bat. Maybe he only brought one bat today. That must be the problem.
I'm going to be honest, I'm emotionally a little crestfallen in the wake of that home run.
Yeah,
That hurt me.
You sound deflated, actually.
I am, man.
You sound deflated.
Oh,
You sat down, you're back in your seat, you're up on your feet, you're sitting down. The ketchup chips have been rolled and put in the corner.
yeah.
Big strike there. He really wanted donuts for these fans, and now they're going home donutless. But you know what, Darren? As a wise man once said, there's still a chance.
I did a Dumb and Dumber reference just for you the other day.
You did.
Yeah, I did. I did.
always-
As an ode to you.
It's always a great day when you can make a reference to Dumb and Dumber.
Yeah, yeah.
Lloyd Christmas.
So you're saying there's a chance. We should also mention Kids in the Hall.
Kids in the Hall. There you go.
These are the Daves I know, I know.
Nice.
These are the Daves I know.
That's right. They made a comeback recently, didn't they?
David
Wasn't as
Bastucci.
strong
I
as the
hardly
original,
know
but-
him.
It's just outside for ball 2.
Yeah, they did. They're awesome. They're awesome. SCTV. Martin Short. Ooh.
Full count here on Bremner. Thompson trying to get out of this inning. Give the Ironbacks bats a chance to make up the score here. Foul down the left side. Still 3-2 count.
Hey, think about that home run.
Right.
That was
bleachers.
over the 385 sign.
It was. That was a shot to center for sure.
385. Wasn't a cheapie, that's for sure.
Another foul ball.
It's a battle.
Hopefully everyone's got their heads up there in the concourse. Foul balls are plenty.
Bremner is raging against the dying of light in terms of this at bat. Oh, fouls
Just
that off.
fouls it off to stay alive. Bremner's having himself in a bat.
Speaking of like times from a pitcher's perspective, you're like right now you're like, what am I throwing this guy at this point?
Everything's been fouled off. How do I get this guy out?
It's a frustrating spot to be in. He's seen everything you got.
Takes the walk. That's a nice battle there by Bremner, but he takes a walk. So he'll keep the inning alive here. Bring it up.
Yeah, on the day he didn't have his
Nathan
best stuff, he
Borshard.
works out a walk in his last
Extra
at bat.
hitter. Borshett, again, also hitless today with a strikeout. Got a happy fan with a foul ball. There's about 16 out there to grab, so she only got one. Thompson inside for ball 1. Ooh. Nice pitch there. Evens the count 1-1 to Nathan Borship, the extra hitter today. Ooh, paints the out corner there for strike 2. We got a crowd in the outfield there looking for maybe another home run ball.
Yeah, and a dog.
And a dog. We'll chase that one down pretty quick. Fouls it back. It might actually be the only shady spot in the field there. It would be right behind the batter's eye there in center.
I wonder if that found a window. He's walking in here today, noticing how many of those windows are broken on Old Merritt High School.
Yeah, I question parking around that high school actually every time I pull in here.
Yeah, yeah.
1-2 the count. Up to short. Shin's got it. Toss the first for the out. The damage has been done here as the Tarp Skunks score 5 in the top of the 9th. They lead 10-8 as we go to the last chance for the Ironbacks here. Hey, welcome back here to George Taylor Field. We're here for the bottom of the 9th inning. The Ironbacks fell down that last inning there as the Tarp Skunks now lead 10-8. Ironbacks down to the last 3 outs here. You got a pitch hitter on the Bryce Bedrosian coming in for Chase Hubble. And we got a new pitcher for the Tarp Skunks. It's Brady Bourdin.
Out of Gannon University. I'm surprised at the pinch hit.
Bedrosian shows bunt. First pitch strike. Interesting call there with no one aboard.
I really wouldn't be in a big hurry to challenge Herman down there.
Chases that one down low in the dirt for strike 2. Trojan down quickly here, 0-2. Just a little outside there for a ball. 1-2 to count.
See, thus far, Petrosian's looked a bit overmatched. See how it goes.
Big swing and a miss there for strike 3 in the first out here for the Ironbacks in the bottom of the 9th.
Now back, your shortstop.
I should mention, Chase Hubble, fantastic day in the field. 1 for 3 at the plate.
He did. He's going to go back to the top of the order here. Carter Shid, he's also had himself a day here at the plate. 3 for 3, couple RBIs, couple runs scored. Hit by pitch his last at bat where he got one right off the hand. Much to the chagrin of the Tarp Skunks fans and team who thought they'd hit the bat. Let's see if we can get this inning started here for the Ironbacks. Get on board.
Burdine just bringing it. See if they can hit the heater.
Pops one up there. Out of play. Caught!
Oh,
by the fans.
nice catch
first
in the
row.
stands.
Again, talk about excellent defense.
That
here
was
today,
a
George
real nice
Field.
defensive
That
play
was a catch.
by somebody in a red shirt.
Giving it to the fan over there. The kids.
That was a nice catch, just leaning back in his chair, didn't even stand up.
They even moved. Just
Yeah.
2 hands up in the air, eyes
That's-
closed.
So
Right
he
in
gets
the bread
he
basket.
gets extra cool points for sitting down making the catch, and he handled it like he'd done it before.
Shot down the left field, just foul.
Man, his shin is so locked in today. Tough spot though, 0-2 on a good pitcher. I mean, so far it seems he's pretty much just seen hard stuff. Let's see if I think he'd be in line for a wrinkle. There it was in the dirt.
Checks with the umpire at first base. He called it down low and a ball held up.
Yeah.
1-2 the count here on Carter Shin. So a shot to the gap there. That's going to be extra bases.
Locked in today.
Wow. Carter Shin, he's getting his team amped up. He's on second base, 1 out.
And we get to the meat of the order here.
That's right. This is all you could ask for right now, right?
Yep.
Keep the inning alive, bring your big bats up. Let's see if they can get them back in the game and get a win here for these fans on Canada Day.
You wanted a fighting chance, and you got your best
I got
guys.
my chance here.
Yep.
Wasn't 1 in a million today.
Keen's kind of due.
He is due again. Doesn't have a hit today, but he's been just missing a few pitches. That could have been trouble there for the pitchers for the Tarp Skunks.
Some good at bats though, some great approaches. You like to see, often that gets rewarded. That's a snap, crackle, pop fastball to start him off. Good pitch.
It's a great
Just
pitch.
Here, hit it. Burdine just coming right after him.
Ooh, ball gets away from the catcher. Let's go to advance Shin to third base. So any shot to the outfield now could score Shin and bring this game within 1.
Yeah, you have to think the Tarp Skunks aren't going to worry too much about Shin. Same as Burdine, just attack the hitter. What a
Shot to
grab.
the outfield again. Center fielder's got it.
No.
Dumas underneath it. That's going to score a run, though. Ironbacks are within 1, but they're down to the last out. Bringing up the dangerous Marcus Butts to the plate.
2 for 4 today.
Designated hitter, number 15, Marcus Butts.
That's right. He got the Ironbacks starter belly back in the first inning with 2 RBI double. Let's see if he can.
It's kind of the story of Keen's day, like really putting a charge into it, just getting under it a little too much.
strike
Some
there.
soft stuff to start them off. Down to the final out. Down by 1 here on Canada Day in beautiful Merritt, Ontario, the place where dreams come true.
Ooh, just upstairs there. Let's see if the fans' dreams will come true today for an Ironbacks win at home. Be the first win at home, actually.
Got a great game. There's been a lot of fantastic parts to it.
Shot to third
Oh.
base, right
And you know what? And that
at
seems
Herbin to end the game. We talked about him at defense all day. He ends the game.
Ironback fans, he reminds
10-9 for the Tarp Skunks here. It was a great day for Canada Day, Darren. We'll be back
as the Tarp Skunks
next week.
bring the state
Thanks for joining
someday.
us.
Someday next week.
Someday next week. Thanks for joining us.
Ironbacks. Gates open at 3.